Less than 3 days to go for the SBI PO mains and the SBI clerks main examination. I'm sure all of you are pretty excited and at the same time a little nervous about these exams that are coming up. I hope many of you have qualified in the prelims exam and you are actually getting ready for these two very important exams which can help you start your career in the banking sector this year. And others who have not been able to crack the SBI PO prelims or the SBI clerk prelims should not worry, because there are many more exams coming up. There are a lot of notifications expected to be announced this month, and then there will be a lot of opportunities for you to start your career in your and get your dream job. So guys, the point I'm trying to make is, if you have qualified in an exam or not, the preparation must go on. On that note, let us start this session today, which is going to be on the SBI PO and clerks main examination. And what we're going to discuss today is reasoning ability, right? So welcome to this live session on reasoning ability for the SBI PO or SBI clerk mains exam, brought to you by Talent Sprint. I hope all of you are in good health and your preparation for these exams is in high gear. Now I can see many of you have joined the chat already, so I see no reason to wait anymore unless there are any important questions you have. No? Okay, I have Sudipta who's given a nice emoji with the word excited. So looks like not really excited, a little more on the side of being nervous, but don't worry. I think guys, you have to be really excited about this, because you should appreciate the fact that you have cleared the preliminary examination, which is the biggest eliminator, right? In fact, I can say one of the biggest eliminators in the country today. You know the competition, right? There were 2,000 odd jobs in SBI PO for SBI PO and about 10 lakh applicants. So if you have cleared the first round, you have already proven yourself to a great extent. If you continue the momentum and do well in your mains examination as well, you will definitely stand a very good chance of kickstarting your career in the banking sector. Yeah, and nervousness is usual. Don't worry, a little bit of nervousness is always there. It should not become panic, like I always say. Yeah, so I see many excited students there. Let me tell you what we are going to do today. We conduct all India level mock exams every weekend for Talent Sprint students, right? And the all India mock exams which are conducted last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, were SSC CGL Tier 1, SBI PO mains examination and the SBI clerks mains examination. So in this session today, we will be looking at the solutions to the questions that were asked in the all India mock exam of SBI PO mains and SBI clerk mains. And the subject that we'll be looking at is reasoning ability. So let's quickly get started. I will present the questions to you all, give you some time to try it out, and then discuss the solutions. And at the same time, we'll also discuss the approach for these two exams, right? You know that it is just about 3 days left for these exams. So you got to have a right approach in your mind. I'm sure you know about the examination pattern, but let's quickly run through it. So what I'll do is share the screen with you all, right? Show you the examination pattern and then move on to the first question that we have. So if you look at the SBI PO main examination, what are the sections we have? We have got 4 sections here. Reasoning and computer aptitude is number 1, right? Followed by general economy or banking awareness. Then we have English language and data analysis and interpretation, right? And then we also have a descriptive test at the end of the online examination. Look at the number of questions and the marks allotted, right? I mean, if you look at the reasoning section here, we have got 45 questions, 60 marks and 60 minutes, right? And the breakup of questions and marks and duration for the other sections is also given. So if you look at the reasoning section here of SBI PO main examination, we have got 45 questions, right? 45 questions, 60 marks to be scored and 60 minutes of time. Now what does it say? This is probably one of the only sections where we have more time than the number of questions. 45 questions and 60 minutes. That's close to what, 80 seconds per question, right? 80 seconds per question. And I'm sure there's a reason behind giving so much of time, because the questions in the reasoning ability section are a little complex. Complex not in terms of difficulty level, but yeah, you need to spend a lot more time to arrive at the answer, right? Usually questions which are on puzzles or circular arrangements or linear arrangements, right? Or machine input output and so on. Yeah. So the point, guys, is you should not worry about time management at all when it comes to the main examination. Why is it so? Because we have more time when compared to the prelims examination. You know that usually in a preliminary examination we have just about 36 seconds per question, and here we have about 80 seconds. So yes, the point I'm trying to make is time management is not the challenge. The challenge is to choose the questions wisely, and that's what we are going to look at in the session today. If you have 45 questions in reasoning, what type of questions should you attempt, and more importantly, what type of questions should you skip? Remember, skip is one of the best shortcuts that we have for answering questions from reasoning section. Most of you may not believe this, but once you start applying it and once you start getting those good scores during your practice test, you will start really believing that and applying it in the real examination as well. So the point is, yes, skip is one of the best solutions that we have in this particular exam. Let's quickly look at the pattern for the clerk's exam as well, and then we'll move on to the first question of the session. So here we go. The SBA clerk main examination pattern. If you see 4 sections, we have general and financial awareness, number 1, 50 questions, 50 marks, 35 minutes. Then we have general English, 40 questions, 40 marks in 35 minutes. We have quantitative aptitude, which has got 50 questions, 50 marks and 45 minutes. And the focus now is on the reasoning ability and computer aptitude section, where we have 50 questions, 60 marks and 45 minutes. Now this, if you see, has got a inverse proportion, right? 50 questions, but only 45 minutes, which means less than 1 minute per question, right? 50 questions, but only 45 minutes. But then, if you all know, the type of questions asked in the SBA clerk's main examination from the reasoning section are not as complex as the SBA PU main examination, right? So I think even in this case, I would say time management is not the problem. So guys, take my point. And trust me, time management is not the issue. The challenge will be to pick the right type of questions and solve them properly so that you can maximize your score in that limited time. Alright? Chalo, let's move on to the discussion now. What I will do is present the first question to you all. Let's start with sort of arrangement. Yeah. Let me see what do we have here. Let's start with the first question. Now this is about 10 people sitting in 2 parallel lines containing 5 in each line, right? In the first row we have got LMNOP, and in the second row we have got VWXYZ, right? One set of people are facing north, the other set of people are facing south. So in that arrangement overall, you will find that one person is facing one person from the opposite row. Now what's interesting here is there's one more attribute. It's not just about arrangement, but there's one more attribute, which is all of them like different sweets. Now this will probably divert the attention of most of you, but then all of them like different sweets, namely petha, ghevar, jalebi, kheer, imarti, rasgulla, rabri, sandesh, barfi and halwa, but not necessarily in the same order. So we not only have to arrange the 10 persons in 2 rows parallel to each other, but also have to find out which person here likes what sweet. Okay, so let me quickly present the question to you all. I'll give you about 3 to 4 minutes to try this out and then discuss the solution for this one. Yeah, so as you can see, 10 people, 2 parallel rows. The row 1 has got LMNOP, the row 2 has got VWXYZ, and all of them are facing north in row 2, whereas people in row 1 are facing south. And these are the 10 sweets that we have. All the clues here are given in the second paragraph, like Z does not face P, 2 persons sit between W and the person who likes halwa, and so on. So the approach is important. You should know how should you try these questions, right? Let me tell you, the first thing that all of you have to do in the exam when you come across this question is skip. Believe me, skip and go to the next one. Just skip and move to the next one. Do not attempt this question. Now, I know your instant reaction would be that it has got 5 marks attached to it. So how do we skip this? But then guys, believe me, the instant solution for this one is to skip it. First, solve the independent questions. There will be questions on syllogisms, there will be questions on coding and decoding, there will be questions on directions and coded inequalities and alphabet and blood relations, which have got a definite method and a definite answer that you can arrive at following a simple solution. So answer those questions first, and then once you're done with the independent ones, you can come back to such puzzles, right? There can be 3 or 4 such puzzles. See, I don't mean to say you have to skip it for good. You don't have to skip it for completely. Skip it for the moment, mark it for review, and then come back. All right. So let me quickly present this again. You have 3 to 4 minutes for this. The clock starts now. Okay, see many talented students mentioning that they have solved this question in the exam, in the only mock exam. So good to hear that, guys. I hope you have spent appropriate time for solving this. Let's see how many of you have got the answer now. Is there anyone who's got the answer? Please keep me posted about your progress so that I know what's happening at your end. How many of you are still trying it out? Abhinav Sharma says, is this full or any other slide is there? No. This is the full question. All the points have been covered here. Got it? Neeraj says, I tried it but left it after a few seconds in the all-day mock exam, which is good. If you leave it within a few seconds, it's always good. Sudeep Das is the first one who has cracked it. He says, it's done. I'll wait for a few more comments before we take this up. This is a question that we had asked in the last all-India mock exam conducted by Talent Sprint. Well, not many students had solved this in the exam, and rightly so. But here you should try it out. This is a practice session, so we all should try it out and get to the right answer. Parvesh Kumar has asked a very interesting question. Can we clear the mains exam without attempting puzzles? Well, Parvesh, I am a true believer of that point. You can clear the mains exam without solving puzzles. But that does not mean that you don't attempt puzzles in the exam. Only thing is, solve it towards the end. Don't solve it in the beginning. Stuck is what Prasanta has mentioned. Lakshman has also got it. Yash says math DI उसका बताएं. Well, data interpretation भी हम discuss कर रहे हैं यश. But आज के session में सिर्फ reasoning discuss होगा. So please join our next session. Follow the calendar of events that we have on Talent Sprint's platform and keep joining us. Alright, 30 more seconds and then I'll close this. We'll start the solution. Shanmuga Priya has also done it. Dhyanesh Pandey is still doing, and we have Lakshman Abhishek who has also done it. Done? Alright, many of you have done it now. Good. So the guys, the time is up. You cannot spend more than this time in the exam. You don't have that luxury. But then keep in mind, the best way to solve is to skip it, right? Don't solve it immediately. Now let me take up the solution, give you the approach, right? Let me help you understand what you should do to solve these questions faster, right? Whenever you try it, what should you do so that you can solve it faster? It all matters on one key point, which is noting down these given clues in terms of pictures, right? Pictorial representations of these points will help you to a great extent in completing the puzzle. So let me explain you how that is done. Here we go. So as you can see, the question here is about 10 people sitting in two parallel lines containing 5 in each. In the first line or in the first row, we have L, M, and O, P, and all of them are facing south. While in the second row, we have V, W, X, Y, and Z, and all of them are facing north. Each person from row 1 faces the person from row 2, right? All of them like different sweets, namely petha, ghevar, jalebi, kheer, imarti, rasgulla, rabri, sandesh, barfi, and halwa, but not necessarily in the same order, right? Now, here are the clues. Like Z does not face P. Two persons sit between W and the person who likes halwa. P is third to the left of the person who likes rasgulla, and so on. Okay. L and N are immediate neighbors, but neither L nor N likes rasgulla, and so on. So let me get some space. Yeah. So here I have some space to try the solution for this one. Like I said, what matters here is noting down the points in terms of pictures. Okay. So let's do that. Let's do that. Now, first and foremost, understand the structure. 5 seats in each row, and we have got 2 such rows. In the first row, we have got L, M, N, O, P, and all of them are facing south, right? So southward facing row. These are L, M, N, O, P in some order, right? In the second row, we have V, W, X, Y, and Z. Sorry, I think I have I have made a mistake. The first row is facing south, it said. Let me just. Yeah, so the structure is as follows. 2 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats in first row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the second row. The first row has got L, M, N, O, P, and all of them are facing south, right? They are facing south. So L, M, N, O, P. They are in this row, first row. In the second row, we have V, W, X, Y, and Z, and these guys are facing north, right? These guys are facing north. They are facing south. V, Y, W, X, Y, Z are facing north. Each person from row 1 faces the person from row 2, right? That's known to us. And there are 10 suites, right? These are the 10 suites that we have as given here. Now look at the points. Z does not face P. Z does not face P. Now what we have to do here is understand that the starting point is very, very important. You cannot start with this point. Z does not face P. How will it help you? It will not help you. So skip that. Just move to something which is very concrete. 2 persons sit between W and the person who likes halwa. So maybe what you can do is, note these points in terms of pictures. Like Z does not face P. Z does not face P. So what we can say, P will not be facing Z. You understand? This cross mark indicates P will not be facing Z. And then you can have your own notations. I am not saying that this is the only notation that you have to follow. You can have your own notation. In my view, in my understanding, this means P will not face Z. So I'll keep this in mind when I'm doing the arrangement. 2 persons sit between W and the one who likes halwa. 2 persons sit between W and halwa. So W dash dash and then halwa. 2 persons between W and halwa. But the only point to be noted here is these two can interchange their positions. W and halwa can interchange their positions. All it says is 2 persons will sit between W and halwa, but it doesn't say who comes first, whether W comes first or halwa comes first, right? So 2 persons sit between W and halwa. Then next point, P is third to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. P is third to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. Now see, another important point to be noted is for the people who are in the first row facing south, left should be taken towards the right hand side and right should be taken towards the left hand side. Whereas for the people who are in the second row facing north, left is on the left and right is on the right. Yes or no? The direction sense is very important. For person facing south, left is always on the right hand side and right is on the left hand side. I mean on paper. And for a person who is facing north, left is left on paper and right is right on paper. So if you see P is third to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. Now P is in which row? P is in the first row facing south. So P is third to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. Means what? Let me start with this. I think this point is good enough to start the arrangement. The other points were made as pictures, but this point can be actually used to start the arrangement. P is third to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. So we are talking about the first row. Let's assume this is the person who likes rasgulla. Third to the left of this person, right? This is the first position. I mean this is the person's position who likes rasgulla. Third to the left of this position. 1, 2, 3. What I shall do is, for easy understanding, I'll write, I mean, let's say I'll write the sweet name and on top I'll write the name of the person. So P is third to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. The sweet that P likes will come here, right? That will come here. So you see, first, second, third. Remember, P is facing south. The guy who likes rasgulla will also be facing south. So for them, left should be towards the right hand side. So first, rasgulla guy is here. First, second, third. P is third to the left of rasgulla. Yeah. That's the first point. You understand why is this gap? The gap here is to write the name of the sweet. Now, move on. L and N are immediate neighbors, but neither L nor N likes rasgulla. L and N are immediate neighbors, but neither L nor N likes rasgulla. Now, we know that L and N both are in the top row. Both L and N are in the top row. They are immediate neighbors. They are immediate neighbors. Meaning what? Both of them will be sitting together. But neither L nor N likes rasgulla. Now this has got a very, very important clue in it. You have to understand that point. Neither L nor N likes rasgulla. So L and N cannot come in these two positions, in this position. See, understand, we have already got 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. So in the bottom row also there are going to be 4 positions. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now what are the possibilities? The only possibility is either the fifth position is on this side, fifth position for the first row and fifth position for the second row, or the fifth position is on this side. Those are the only two cases possible. Yes or no? Are you able to follow the point I am trying to make? 4 positions have already been fixed in each row. The fifth position can be on this side, left hand side of rasgulla and accordingly for the bottom row, or on the right hand side of P and accordingly in the bottom row. That's the only possibility. So let's say this is case number 1. This is case number 2. Case number 1 and case number 2, again I'll repeat. So in case number, let me just duplicate this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll fix P here and I'll write rasgulla here. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go in detail so that everybody can follow, right? It doesn't take so much time in the exam. So what we'll do is, in case number 1, let's take the 5th position on the left hand side of Rasgulla. In case number 2, let's take the 5th position on the right hand side of P. You getting it? So now 5 positions have been fixed. The 5 positions have been fixed, right? Let me get to the pin. The 5 positions have been fixed. Now look at this point. It says L and N are immediate neighbors, but neither L nor N likes Rasgulla. So if L and N are immediate neighbors, we should have 2 consecutive positions available for them. But since we know L and N cannot come in this place, Rasgulla's place, the only place where L and N can come are these 2. Similarly, in case number 2 as well, L and N cannot take the first position because it is for Rasgulla and they don't like Rasgulla. We need 2 consecutive positions for them. Those 2 consecutive positions are going to be these 2. Now, which exactly is L and which is N is not known. So what I'll do is, for now, for the moment, I'll just write L or N. N or L. L or N, N or L. Meaning these 2 places are blocked for N and L respectively. N and L respectively. Right? N and L respectively. Clear? The person who likes Rabri faces the person who is third to the right of V. The person who likes Rabri faces the person who is third to the right of V. Now understand, V will come in the bottom row. V is going to be in the bottom row. So the one who likes Rabri faces the person who is third to the right of V. Third to the right of V. V is going to be the bottom row. For bottom row, people are facing north, right? So right is on the right hand side, right? Right is always going to be on the right hand side. So how do we use this point? Or should we use this point at all? The next point says P does not like Rabri. Now this is important. P does not like Rabri. P does not like Rabri, so make a note of it. Rabri cannot come here. Yes or no? Rabri cannot come here. Similarly, Rabri cannot come here. Okay, P does not like Rabri. But then the person who likes Rabri faces the one who is third to the right of V. So where can V come? See, V will come in the bottom row, right? Suppose V comes here. First, second, third. Rabri has to come here. Are you able to follow? Third to the right of V. Focus on this point. Whoever likes Rabri faces the person who is third to the right of V. So there is a person who is third to the right of V, and opposite of that person is Rabri. So if you take V in this place, let's say, the extreme left, V in this place, V comes here. First, second, third, Rabri can come here. If you take V here on this place, what happens? First, second, third, right of Rabri, right? First, second, third. This time we are taking right on the right hand side because V is facing north. Remember, V is in the bottom row facing north. So V is here, first, second, third. Rabri has to come here, but that's not allowed. And of course, if we take V in third or fourth or fifth position, Rabri will go out of the arrangement. So the only possibility is V comes here. V comes here. First, second, third. Opposite is Rabri. This is Rabri. Are you able to follow? Similarly, in case number 2, if you see, if you take V in this place, first, second, third. Third to the right of V is this person. Opposite should be Rabri, but that's not allowed. Meaning V cannot come here. So V has to come here. Now first, second, third. On the opposite side should be Rabri. So I can write Rabri here. Okay. I think I've lost that idea of writing names above and writing the suites at the bottom. But anyway, you know that name and the suite will come together. So this is the arrangement that we have done so far. We have marked V, we have marked Rabri, we have marked P, we have marked L and N to some extent. Now, read the next point. Y is second to the left of Z who likes Imarti. Y is second to the left of Z who likes Imarti. Y does not face the person who likes Rasgulla. Y does not face the person who likes Rasgulla. So can we use this? Y is second to the left of Z. See, how will you use this? Y is second to the left of Z. Z is going to be in the bottom row. Bottom row meaning person is facing north. So if Z is here, Y second to the left of Z. First and second. Y has to come here. Y second to the left of Z. First and second. Z and Z likes Imarti. Z likes Imarti. So Z will like Imarti. So basically what you have to do is you have to fix this point now. Z who likes Imarti is in this place. Y second to the left of Z. We also know that Y does not face the person who likes Rasgulla. Y does not face the person who likes Rasgulla. See, Rasgulla is already marked here. So meaning Y will not be opposite of Rasgulla. Y cannot be opposite of Rasgulla. Y cannot be opposite of Rasgulla. So how do you use this? See, if you observe the first case, let's say if you take Z here, first and second, Y can come here. Yes or no? If you take Z in this position, first and second, Y has to come here, but he becomes opposite to Rasgulla, which is not allowed. Can you take Z in this place? No. If you take Z in this place, first and second, Y has to come here, which is already blocked by V. So the only possibility is Z comes here, and Z likes Imarti like we know. And y comes here. Now come to case number 2. In case number 2, let's say if you take z in this position, y can come here. You cannot take z in this position, because then y has to come here. And if you take z in this position, y comes here, which is opposite to Rasgulla and not allowed. So the only possibility is z comes here. Z likes Imarti, we all know, and y comes here. Are you able to follow? Y is second to the left of z, first and second to the left of z, and z likes Imarti. Y should not face Rasgulla. So based on that, the other possibility was eliminated in both case number 1 as well as case number 2. Yes or no? If you take z in this place, y comes here, which is opposite to Rasgulla, not allowed. If you take z in this place, y comes here, opposite to Rasgulla, not allowed. I hope you are all able to follow. Alright? Now I am sure somewhere or the other we'll find that either case 1 or case 2 is wrong, which has to be the, which should be like the elimination, and then we'll proceed with the next one. Now the person who likes ghevar and jalebi face each other, but the person who likes jalebi is not an immediate neighbor of the person who likes halwa. Now so far we have not marked W and halwa. If you see, it's only pictorially represented here. We have not marked W and halwa. Achha, case 1 will become wrong, by the way. If you observe, we already have this picture, right? What is that picture? P is opposite to Z. P is not opposite to Z. The first point, Z does not face P. So if you observe case number 1, you have already got Z facing P. Z is facing P, which is not allowed. So case number 1 is wrong. Are you able to follow? Case number 1 comes out to be wrong. So only case 2. We need to just focus on case number 2 here. So this point has been used. This picture has been used. Z does not face P has been used. Yeah. Now this picture has not been used yet. W dash dash halwa. Where will W come? See, if you look at case number 2, now only focus on case number 2. We know that W will come in the bottom row. Both are possible. If W comes here, halwa would come here. If W comes here, then halwa would go there. Right? So this point still cannot be fixed. This point has been fixed. The person who likes ghevar and jalebi face each other, but the person who likes jalebi is not an immediate neighbor of the person who likes halwa. So basically, ghevar and jalebi will face each other is the point. So ghevar will face jalebi. Ghevar will face jalebi, but jalebi is not an immediate neighbor of halwa. But halwa has not been fixed yet. Let's move to the next point. The person who likes jalebi is facing north. Okay, the person who likes jalebi is facing north. Yeah, so jalebi will be in the bottom row. That's already known to us. Yeah, I mean we already considered that only. Only one person sits between the person who likes barfi and the person who likes sandesh. Only one person sits between barfi and sandesh. How will you note this? So it's like this again. Barfi dash sandesh. There is only one person between barfi and sandesh. And of course, they can interchange their positions. Barfi and sandesh can interchange their positions because all we know is there is one person between barfi and sandesh. The person who likes sandesh faces the person who is second to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. Okay, this is interesting. The person who likes sandesh faces the person. I'm actually reading it up, pronouncing it wrong because it's not sandesh, it's sandesh, right? Anyway, so the person who likes sandesh faces the person who is second to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. Second to the left of the person who likes rasgulla. See, rasgulla is here. Second to the left of rasgulla. First and second. Rasgulla is here. First and second. Second to the left of rasgulla is this position. So the point made here is the person who likes sandesh faces the person who is second to the left of rasgulla. So second to the left of rasgulla is this person, and this person faces sandesh. So sandesh comes here. You getting it? Sandesh faces the person, this person, who is second to the left of rasgulla. Now again, I think now you can fix barfi also. Sandesh is fixed, barfi can be fixed now because barfi cannot come this side. It is imarti here, so barfi has to go on this side. This will be barfi. So this point has also been used. And now I think this point also can be fixed. W dash dash halwa. See, W has to come here. Dash dash halwa will come here. Yes or no? We know that W and halwa will come in the bottom row. If halwa is taken here, it should be dash dash W, which is not allowed. So halwa has to come here. Then it will be dash dash W. This point is also used. And I think bottom row is largely done. We have W, V, Y, Z. X is left out. X is the one who likes halwa. So bottom row is done. Only one sweet is pending. In the top row, some more filling has to be done. In fact, a lot more filling has to be done. Yeah. Acha, we know this also, right? Ghevar and jalebi face each other. And jalebi is in the bottom row. So this point also can be done. Ghevar and jalebi face each other. Jalebi is in the bottom row. Jalebi comes here. That's the only choice for jalebi, right? And then ghevar comes here. Yeah. O does not like rabri. O does not like rabri, but is an immediate neighbor of N. O does not like rabri, Now understand this point. O's position can be fixed. O does not like rubbery, fine. Which means O cannot come in this position. Right? O will not come here. This position already occupied by P. But O should be an immediate neighbor of N. See, we have not fixed N so far in this case. It can be L here or N here. Accordingly, N or L here. But what we know is O is an immediate neighbor of N. O and N have to come together. Now if you take N in this place, the immediate neighbor of N is P this side. And immediate neighbor of N will be L this side. So N cannot be a neighbor of O if you take N in this place, which means N cannot come here. This position should be L. If this is L, then the other position has to be N. You're getting it? You know how we have eliminated, right? We know that O and N are immediate neighbors. So for O and N to be immediate neighbors, the only choice is O has to come here. Now O and N are immediate neighbors, N and L are also immediate neighbors. So I think the persons in the top row also done. O, N, L, P. Who else was that? Who else is there? M. M comes here. So M, N, O, L, P. Yeah. Only some sweets are left out now. Let's see. L does not like Petha. Sorry. L does not like Petha. So if L does not like Petha, P has to like Petha. There's no choice. L does not like Petha, so P likes Petha. And what's the only sweet left out? I think Kheer is left out, which should be for L. So that's the final arrangement. You getting it? We have O, N, L, P, M. The sweets are Rasgulla, Ghevar, Kheer, Petha and Rabdi. And in the bottom row we have W, V, Y, X, Z. And the sweets are Barfi, Jalebi, Sandesh, Halwa and Imarti. Yeah. And if you observe, there is one point which we have not used at all. The person who likes Ghevar and Jalebi faces each other. This part we have not even used it. The person who likes Jalebi is not an immediate neighbor of the person who likes halwa. Yes or no? You see, jalebi is not an immediate neighbor of halwa. So the point I'm trying to make is, even without using this highlighted statement, we have been able to complete the arrangement. We have used only the first part. The person who likes ghevar and jalebi face each other. That part we have used. But the second part, the person who likes jalebi is not an immediate neighbor of halwa, we did not even use that. And still we got the full arrangement. Which means we were really reading the points very carefully and using all the hidden clues, we could complete it. So guys, the point is, number one, do not go by the length of the explanation, because I was explaining it in detail. So it obviously naturally takes more time. When I have to solve it myself, I'll not be spending so much time doing the detailed stuff, right? There's a lot of things that you can visualize and eliminate visually, which is not possible to explain. So that is the reason I have to put everything on paper. So point number one, do not go by the length of the explanation. Point number two, skip this question the moment you see it in the exam, right? You're not supposed to attempt this question immediately. First solve the easier ones and then come back to such questions. And point number three, read in between the lines, right? What is given is anyway given. Anybody can plot that on the arrangement or on the puzzle. What is not given or what is indirectly given is what needs to be understood. And that's where the intelligence lies. If you can find out the hidden points, the indirect clues given to you, then only you'll be able to complete it faster. Alright? And like I said, in case of linear arrangement or in case of floor-based puzzles also, the best thing to do is make pictures. Make small pictures and try to fit those pictures in the puzzle that you're trying to do so that you can get the answer. I think maximum 3 to 4 minutes, not more than that. Okay? Chalo, so I think we are done with this. We can look at the questions quickly, which will not take more than a minute. So let's quickly look at the questions and then move to the next question. How many persons, read this one. What are the questions? Sorry. How many persons sit between N and Kheer? How many persons sit between N and Kheer? So N is here and Kheer is here. How many persons sit between N and Kheer? 0 persons. None. Option 3 is the answer. Which one is opposite to O? Which one is opposite to O? Opposite to O is W. Opposite to O is W, right? Which of the following pair sits diagonally opposite to each other? Who sits diagonally opposite each other? The two ends. Find out the two ends. I think WM or ZO. Diagonally opposite are either WM or ZO. Check that. WM, ZO, WM, ZO. Option 4. Yes or no? Z and O are diagonally opposite. The person who is second to the left of X likes which of the following six? Second to the left of X. Understand, X is in the bottom row. Bottom row people are facing north. So second to the left of X will be towards our left. First and second. It is V. The person who is second to the left of X is V. And V likes with sweet? Jalebi. So your answer should be option 3. Option 2. And the last question here is, what is the position of the person who likes Imarti with respect to the person who likes Sandesh? Imarti with respect to Sandesh. So Imarti is here, and where is Sandesh? Sandesh is here. So position of Imarti with respect to Sandesh, see, it is second to the right. The position of Imarti with respect to Sandesh is second to the right. First and second to the right. Why am I saying second to the right? Because these guys are facing north. And when you're facing north, right is always on the right hand side only, right? So position of Imarti with respect to Sandesh is second to the right. Second to the right, yes, option 4 will be the answer. Alright, so if you see, answering those 5 questions would take about 30 seconds. Doing this arrangement would take about 3 to 4 minutes. So overall, I think about 4 to 4.5 minutes, you should be able to convert this to 5 marks, which is well worth it when it comes to a mains examination, SBI PO mains examination. But still, the point holds true. Do not solve it immediately. Skip, solve the easier ones, and then come back. Come back and choose one of the puzzles that you have. Okay. Let's now move on to the next one. I think we have some independent questions and also few more puzzles. So let me take up a interesting one. This type of puzzle was actually asked last year in one of the mains exams conducted by SBI. It says an input output is given in different steps. Some mathematical operations are done in each step. Now, no mathematical operation is repeated in the next step, but it can be repeated with some other mathematical operation. For example, if multiplication you use with subtraction in step 1, then the same can be used with addition in step 2. So those are the directions. Let me show the question to you. You have to first analyze what's happening from one step to the other step in these illustration, and then answer the questions asked. Okay, so here we go. The question is on your screens here. Try it out. David has asked me a question that, is this question for clerk or PO? Well, this can be asked in any of those two exams. It can be for clerks or POs. So here's the question. So illustration is given to you. There is an input stream of numbers, and there is a step-by-step process. Now, in each step, some mathematical operations are being performed. In fact, from the input to step 1, they have given us the clue on what two numbers the mathematical operations have been performed. So you have to identify what is the operation here, then do the same thing on the new input that is given to us, right? And then answer the 5 questions asked. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions have been asked. All these 5 questions are based on the given input here. And this input can be worked on only when you understand this illustration. So understand this illustration first. I'll leave you with this for about 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes maybe. Once you have understood the step-by-step process, then it's a cakewalk. Okay? So your time starts now. I can see you guys breaking the logic here. Step 1 to step 2 to step 3. Try it out. Got it? 30 more seconds and then we shall take it out. Done? Alright, so the time is up. Let's try it out now. Here we go. Look at it. An input output is given in different steps. Some mathematical operations are done in each step. No mathematical operation is repeated in the next step, but it can be repeated with some other mathematical operation. For example, as multiplication can be used with subtraction in step 1, the same can be used with addition in step number 2. So basic directions, right? We have got an input which is 29, 15, 33, 31, 21, 23, all 2-digit numbers. This input is undergoing some mathematical operations, and there is a step-by-step process which illustrates that. So we need to identify those steps here, those operations here, and then do the same thing on the new input given to us. And post that we can attempt the questions. So let's first decipher the logic. What happens in step 1? See, he has also given us a clue that in step 1 we have worked on the first two numbers. So 29 and 15 were the numbers. We have got 44. What could be the logic? I think it is a simple addition. 29 plus 15 is 44. Let's check in the second part also. 64, right? 33 plus 31. Yes. 64. 21 plus 23, 44. Yes. Strictly speaking, we should not say 29 plus 15, 44 here. It is actually, in this case it is like addition, but most of the times what happens is, each digit is different. You take 2 as a digit, 9 as a digit, 1 as a digit, 5 as a digit. Like for example, sometimes what they do is 2 plus 1, 3, and 9 plus 5, let's say it's 14 in this case. So we have 4 and then 1 carried forward. So it becomes 44. You understand? Like if you observe the second one, it is 3 plus 3, 6, 3 plus 1, 4. 2 plus 2, 4, and 1 plus 3, 4. Anyway, so in the first step, we are simply adding the two numbers, right? It is 29 plus 15. Similarly, this is 33 plus 31. This is 21 plus 23, which gives us 44. Now, what happens in step 1 to step 2? What happens in step 2? Look at this. Step 1, in the first figure here, we have got 96. In the second figure, we have got 64. Now, how did we get this 96? The logic is as follows. 4, 4, and 6. These three numbers have been multiplied. For this 64, this 4, this 4, and this 4 have been multiplied. So 4 into 4, 16. 16 into 6, 96. You're getting it? It is 4 into 4 into 6. 96. This part is 4 into 4 into 4. 4 into 4, 16. 16 into 4, 64. We get 64. So that's how we obtain 96 and 64 here. So some of you may say, how should we get this in the exam? How would we get this logic in the exam, right? You may not get it. And then what do? Just skip and go to the next one. This is like coding and decoding, right? There is no definite method. You either get the logic or you don't get the logic. Now look at this step 3. Step 3 is again a typical calculation. We have got 18 and 12. You know how we have got 18 and 12 here? If you see, 18 is like 9 into 2. 12 is 6 into 2. But then what happens to this 6 and this 4? Well, actually it is like this. This 18 is 9 into the difference of 6 and 4. 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. The 6 and 4 have come from the second number, right? So difference of 6 and 4 is 2. 9 into 2 is 18. Similarly, this 12 is 6. 6 into the difference of 6 and 4. So 6 minus 4 is 2. 6 into 2 is 12. And the last step now. I'm sure this was the most typical step. The last step is simple. 18 and 12. The difference is 6 and this is 6 squared. So it's like 18 minus 12 square. 18 minus 12 is 6, 6 squared 36. That's the number. So in the first step, we are simply adding the pair of numbers to get the next step. In the second step, we are multiplying the three digits that we have to get the next set of numbers. In the next step, we take the first digit of the first number, multiply that with the difference of the two numbers. Then we take the second digit of the first number, multiply that with the difference of the two numbers. And in the last step, we take the difference and square the two numbers. Yes, now I know most of you must be like, rolling on the floor laughing at this logic, but that's how it is. How would we crack this in the exam? We may not be able to crack it in the exam, right? This is pure coding and decoding format in terms of numbers. Coding and decoding is usually asked with letters or words. Here it's with numbers. Now, what is the logic applied? Only the examiner, only the paper setter knows. You may or may not get the logic. So what should you do in the exam? You should definitely try it. I'm not saying you should skip this. Give it a try. Spend about 1 to 2 minutes, not more than that. In the first 1 or 2 minutes, if you are able to crack it, well and good. Otherwise, skip and go to the next one. Don't waste your precious time in trying to solve such questions. Because you never know how much time it's going to take. It can take forever sometimes to arrive at the logic. I mean, for me, the most typical step here was step number 3. The numbers that we have obtained in step number 3. You take the first digit of the first number, multiply that with the difference of the two digits of the second number. You take the second digit of the first number, multiply that with the difference of the two digits of the second number. I mean, how would somebody figure that out? And if you have done it, great, congratulations. But still, remember, don't waste your precious time in the exam. Give it a shot, right? 1 or 2 minutes. If you can do it, well and good. Otherwise, don't panic. Skip and move to the next one. Yeah. Now let's quickly look at the given set of input numbers, apply the same steps there as well, and then answer the questions. Now the job is very easy. Once you have got the logic, the answer is very, very easy. Yeah. So look at this one now. So what do we do in step 1? We'll add these numbers, right? We'll add these numbers. Do that. So 12 and 41 is 53. Then 17 and 19 is 36. Then 23 and 11 is 34. Yes or no? This is 53, this is 36, and here we have 34. Now, what was the next step? The next step was multiplying the three digits, right? So we multiply, we use kind of these 3 digits, and we use these 3 digits. So what do we get next number? You understand what we are doing? 5 into 3 into 3. This is going to be 6 into 3 into 4. So 5 3 is 15, 15 3 is 45. 6 3 is 18, 18 4 is 72. So we got 72. Now remember, what is the next step? In the next step, we will get this number 4 multiplied with the difference of 7 and 2. This will be, the other number will be 5, which has been obtained from the first number, multiplied with the difference of 7 and 2. So 7 and 2 difference is 5. 4 5s is 20. 5 5s is 25. You getting it? 4 has been taken from here. 7 and 2 have been taken from here. This 5 has been taken from here. 7 and 2 have been taken from here. Yeah. And the last step is very easy. You take the difference of the squares of these two numbers. So basically 20 minus 25 square, or 25 minus 20 square, right? How much is that? 5 square, 25. That is the final output. So the numbers are 53, 36, 34. Next set is 45, 72. Then we have 20, 25, and finally we have 25. Okay. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I forgot to share the screen. Okay, now you guys have to help me understand, did I share the screen when I was explaining the logic or not? I'm so sorry, I missed reading your comments as well. You have to tell me if you, I'm back on the video. You guys have to tell me that did you see the screen when I was explaining you the logic or no? No? Okay, did I, this is very bad. I'm so sorry about it. We'll be wasting our time redoing the whole stuff. All I want to understand is, was the only second part not shared or the first part also not shared? No, no, yes. Okay, if you say no and yes, I'll get confused. To which question are you saying no and to which question are you saying yes? There was an input given. When I was explaining that illustration, did I share the screen or not? Logic is clear? Logic was explained? While explaining the logic, the screen was shared. I'm so sorry. So let me go back and do the stuff again. Yeah. Right, so this is what I've done. Let me quickly redo this. Sorry about the goof up. Let me redo this part. So what do we do? In the first step, we just add these numbers. Right? So 12 and 41 is 53. 17 and 19 is 36. And 23 and 11 is 34. In the next step, we, multiply 5 with 3 with 3. And here we multiply 6 with the same thing. I mean, there's nothing complex about it. Whatever we had observed in the previous illustration, right? The same thing is being repeated now. Okay. So 5 into 3, 15, 15 into 3, 45. And then we have 6 into 3, 18, 18 into 4, 72. Then we get one number which is 4 into 7 minus 2. 4 into 7 minus 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 into 5 is 20. Right? And here the number will be 5 into 7 minus 2. So 5 into 5, 25. And in the last step, what do we get? We get the difference of 20 and 25 squared. This is 25. Yeah. So what happens? The numbers are 53, 36, 34, 45, 72, 20, 25 and finally 25. And all the questions now will be based on these numbers. Remember, this is step number 1. Step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3 and this is step 4, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4. Now if anybody is worried, like I can see David saying I'm worried about how to find the logic, don't worry, don't have to find the logic. These are, I generally call these questions as stupid because there's no way. I mean, logic can be any trivial logic or any complex logic there. You never know. I mean, I can make a very complex logic. How would you identify? You will not be able to, right? And same is the case with you. Nobody can tell that I can answer any question based on such pattern. It's not possible. You solve 1,000 such questions before exam, but what is asked in the exam may not be easy to solve. Sometimes you don't solve any question at all, but what is asked in the exam can be done easily. It's like coding and decoding, right? Coding and decoding, since it's all about trial and error. There is no method. You solve 5,000 questions on coding. Is it guaranteed that you will be able to answer the question in the exam? No. You don't prepare on coding and decoding at all. Can you solve all the questions on coding and decoding in the exam? Yes. Very much possible. So, be clear with that idea. Don't worry or don't feel bad if you're not able to crack such questions. Just move to the next one. Okay. Now let's quickly, look at the questions asked here, right? This time I'll share the screen, don't worry. Screen is shared. Look at the questions. The first question. Find the addition of the three numbers obtained in step 1. Addition of three numbers obtained in step 1. 53, 36 and 34. So 80 and 110 and then we have 13. 110 and 13 is 123. So option 1 is the answer. Yeah. Then find the multiplication of the two numbers obtained in step 3. Multiplication of two numbers obtained in step 3. 20 and 25. What's the multiplication? 500. Simple. 20 into 25. Yeah. Then the third question. Find the difference between the two numbers obtained in step 2. Difference of the two numbers obtained in step 2. 45 and 72. What's the difference? 27 is the difference, right? 72 minus 45. 27. So the answer should be 27. Next question. Find the square of the number which is obtained in step 4. Square of the number obtained in step 4, 25 square. What is 25 square? 625. Done. Last question. If digit is exchanged within the each block, then find the multiplication of the two new numbers obtained in step 2. If the digits is obtained within each block, then find the multiplication of the two new numbers obtained in step 2. So basically in each block the digits have to be exchanged. Then find the multiplication of two new numbers obtained in step 2. See, what are the numbers obtained in step 2? 45 and 72. Strictly speaking, you should write numbers like this. 4, 5. But don't do this drama in the exam because it's not going to give you any marks. Yes or no? This is how you should write it. Now he says, interchange the digits in each block. So the new number will be 54. Here the new number will be 27. He's asking us to find out the product of these two numbers. When you multiply 54 with 27, what do you get? You getting it? You have got two numbers in step 2. Swap the digits and then multiply. As simple as that. So 54 into 27. What's the answer? Answer should end with 8. I mean, that's for sure. So first option, second option, third option gets eliminated. Either fourth option or fifth option. But since fifth option is none of this, you will have to go for it. You understand? The two numbers are 54 and 27. So the answer to this question will be 54 into 27. Immediately you should mark 1, 2, 3 as wrong because the answer has to end with 8. 4 into 7, right? Answer ends with 8. Either it's 1458 or it's none of this. 54 into 27. Do the calculation. How do you multiply this? I'll tell you the best way to multiply. I don't know how many of you got this idea. The smart way of multiplying this is considering 54 as 2 into 27. 90% of the calculation is done if you can break it like this. Yeah, 90% of the calculation is done if you can break it like this, if you get this logic. Now, what's the advantage of this logic? 27 into 27 is 27 square. And we already know what 27 square is. What is 27 square? What is 27 square? 729. So, 2 into 729. Now, doubling a number is very easy, right? 2 into 729, 1458. 1458. Option 4 is the answer. See, here comes your numerical skill. I told you. I've told you multiple times. When you're solving questions on quantitative aptitude or data interpretation for SBIPO means exam, the most important tool is the way you do your calculation. 54 into 27 can be multiplied in 10 different ways. 54 into 20, 54 into 7, 27 into 50, 27 into 4. Maybe you can do it on paper. You can apply the IXI technique, right? Or a lot of other things can be done. But, the moment, again, I'm not trying to boast about my skills here, but the first idea that I got was 54 is twice of 27. So this becomes 27 square and double. Easy. 729 into 1458. There ends the matter. This method may not be comfortable for all of you. But then, for me, this is the most comfortable one. And I have arrived at this method by practicing a lot. It's not possible always. Suppose 54 becomes 53, then you cannot apply that technique. If 54 is 53, then that technique is not applicable. Then I'll go for something else. Then maybe I'll say 40 minus 13, 40 plus 13. 40 minus 13 is 27. 40 plus 13 is 53. Then I'll say a plus b into a minus b. So 40 squared minus 13 squared. 1600 minus 169. So 1231 will be the answer in that case. So the point is, whatever be the number, you should get the best idea that works for you and do the calculation immediately. Right? All you have to ensure is you don't spend too much of time in doing these calculations. And you don't put pen on paper for unnecessary steps. Because the more you write on paper, the more time it takes. Okay. Chalo, let's move on to the next one. Jay Murli says in step 3 we can say that it is the LCM of the two numbers. Let me just go back. In step 3, I'm looking at a comment from Jay Murli. He says, step 3 is the LCM of the two numbers, 96. Oh, no, I didn't get that. In step number 4, in the last step you're saying 18 and 12, it's the LCM. Yes, for 18 and 12, the least common multiple is 36 generally. But understand, LCM is not a mathematical operation. It's a process, but it's not a mathematical operation. When you talk about mathematical operation, it usually involves additions, subtractions, multiplications, and divisions. Okay, LCM is not an operation. It is not an operation. So, Geta wanted me to explain step number 3. So, Geta, I have explained that with writing, in writing, and by drawing all those steps. It's very simple. Take the first digit of the first number, multiply with the difference of the two digits of the second number. Take the second digit of the first number, multiply that with the difference of the two digits of the second number. Yeah. Clear? Should we move on to the next one now? Next question. Okay, let me now take one more puzzle. This is interesting. Many puzzles are there actually, because we are covering both SBIPO mains, SBA clerks, SBIPO mains and SBA clerk mains exam. Let me maybe take this one. Here we've got 6 friends. This was asked in the SBI PO mains exam, right? The SBI PO mains exam conducted by Talentsmith last weekend. 6 friends: Somu, Deepa, Mahi, Jay, Lokesh, and Lovely, who are working in 6 different companies, which are Totus, Epson, Haier, Philips, Unisys, and Cjecon. Each one reads a different book: Batman, Chacha Chaudhary, Champak, Nandan, He-Man, or I don't know if it is He-Man or Heman, and the Superman. Each one of them plays a particular sport of their liking among kabaddi, volleyball, dodgeball, football, handball, and kho. Each of them is married and have children. Now look at the number of attributes. There are 6 persons. Each has a different liking for a comic or book. Each works in a different company. Each plays a different sport, and each one is married and have got some number of children. So I'm sure the number of children also is going to matter. So 5 attributes: names of the persons, companies they work for, books they read, sports they play, and the number of children they have. 5 attributes have to be fixed here. So it's a typical assignment problem, but in assignment usually we have about 3 attributes. This time we have got 5. So let's see how do you approach such questions. I'll present it to you all, give you about 3-4 minutes to try it out first, and then take up the solution. Here we go. भाई मैं एक बार क्या भूल गया? Why do you guys think मैं बार बार भूल रहा हूँ? I was explaining the question to you. I knew I didn't share the screen. Anyway, the question is on your screen now. Try it out. And yeah, you have 5 minutes. Skip it. Alright, I'm sure you guys are trying it out. Few of the Talentsmith students wants me to take the puzzle on chemicals. We should do that as well if time permits, don't worry. But first try this out. You have 3 more minutes, I'm sure. Okay, Raghav says that he needs a class on statements and arguments. Well, Raghav, let me tell you that we already have videos on statements and arguments and those critical reasoning questions. We will add more such videos, and if possible, we shall do a live session as well. Just log into your Talent Spins account. Only company is fixed is what Rama says. Sure, you can do the remaining attributes as well. Try that. Got it? Okay, some of you have done everything except children. Neeraj says he is half done. Chino is still trying it. Priya has only got companies and books, but not sports. Good. So good that I chose this because this looks like a complex one. Not many of you have completely done this. Yeah? So for all those who are still trying it, I'll give you maybe 1 more minute. Because I don't want to disturb the progress of your solution. Try hard. Okay, let's take it up now. It's done. Vidya Rajan says completely fixed, couldn't fix sport. Then how is it complete? It's not complete unless you have done it. Okay, so time is up. Let me see what your reactions are. So definitely a lengthy one, right? Not very easy, but at the same time not difficult at all. In my view, it's just lengthy and not difficult, if you ask me, right? If you are used to solving questions and assignments, which has been a very popular question type in bank exams, and if you're used to solving Sudoku and such puzzles, you will find it to be an easy one, right? It's just that number of attributes are many, so you have to deal with multiple attributes here, right? 5 in this particular case. So let's give it a try. I think time is up. Those who have not solved it so far can just leave it now and look at the solution. It's very important that you read in between the lines and fill with the hidden clues, right? What is directly given is given, but what is not given has to be understood carefully. Okay. Yeah, and I can see some comments here. Not difficult, but just lengthy. Yes, that's right. So let's take it up. Let me share the screen. I know I have to share the screen. Sharing the screen here. Let's look at it. So the question says 6 friends, Somu, Deepa, Mahi, Jay, Lokesh and Lovely work in different companies among Totus, Epson, Haier, Philips, Unisys and Cijegon. Each one of them read different books among Batman, Chacha Chaudhary, Champak, Nandan, Heyman, and I don't know if this is Heyman or He-Man. I'm so confused with this, right? Look at my confusion in life, no? Should I read it He-Man or He-Man? And anyway, He-Man and the Superman, though not necessarily in the order. Each of them play a different sport among Kabaddi, Volleyball, Dodgeball, Football, Handball and Kho-Kho, and though not in the order. And each of them is married and have children. So 6 friends, different companies, different books, different sports, and I'm sure they'll have different number of children. Okay, now the clues are given here. The one who's reading the Superman works in Philips, and the one who's reading Chacha Chaudhary works in Totus. Lokesh does not work in Haier or Unisys and so on. Okay, and like I mentioned in one of the previous examples, previous puzzles, and like I always mentioned, the best approach for solving such questions would be to make pictures and try to fill the gaps with those pictures. Okay, so let's try and do that now. So I've got some space here. What I shall do is, I think I'll fix the names of the persons. That would make it easy, right? So I'll write Somu. I can write it in any order, right? I can write Somu. See, the order is not important. Who is first, who is second, that's not the case. It is not a arrangement based question. It's an assignment based question. Understand the difference. This is not an arrangement. This is an assignment. Meaning, you just have to assign attributes to the given persons, right? It's not arrangement of persons, that who's on top, who's at the bottom and so on, right? So Somu, then we have Deepa, we have Mahi, Jay, Lokesh and Lovely. So one attribute is fixed. That's a joke because nothing has been fixed, only listed down, right? The remaining 4 attributes have to be fixed here. The companies, the sport and the book they read and the number of children. Okay. So let's start working on it. The one who's reading Superman works in Philips, and the one who's reading Chacha Chaudhary works in Totus. Now, we cannot use it immediately because we don't know who reads Superman and who reads Chacha Chaudhary, but make a note of it. Superman. See, why do I ask you to make a note of it? Because if this is written here in pictorial format, it will be easy to fix it in the diagram here, in the overall puzzle here. You don't have to go again and again to the passage and read the statements. That's very, very time consuming, right? So the first sentence is done in my view. Superman will go for Philips and Chacha Chaudhary will go for, what is that company? Totus. Lokesh does not work in Haier or Unisys. Now this is again to be noted. Lokesh does not work in Haier or Unisys. So for Lokesh, make a note of it. Lokesh does not work in Haier or Unisys. These are the things that Lokesh do not like, right? Lokesh does not work. Lokesh plays volleyball. Okay, that's straight. We need such information. Lokesh plays volleyball. So Lokesh plays volleyball, right? Done. The one who reads Superman have the same number of children as the number of alphabets in the name of the company he works in. Oh, that's interesting. The one who reads Superman, have the same number of children as the number of alphabets in the name of the company he works in. Now, luckily, we know who reads Superman works for Philips. We don't know who reads Superman, but we know that the guy who reads Superman works in this company Philips. So the point made here is, whoever reads Superman, he has got same number of children as the number of alphabets, or basically the number of letters in the name of his company. How many letters are there in this company? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Philips has got 7 letters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this guy has got 7 children. He's really a Superman. Okay, so Superman, jokes apart, let's move on. Superman works in Philips. He has got 7 children. Okay. Then what? So wherever, I mean, once we find out who reads Superman, we can fix these attributes. Number of children J has is 2 times that of Lokesh. Number of children J has is 2 times that of Lokesh. So the number of children J has is 2 times that of Lokesh. How do we make it? So I can do one thing. Like, let's assume the number of children J has is C. Or the number of children Lokesh has is C. So J will have 2C children. We'll fill with the numbers. Whenever we find out one of the values, we'll fill it. Yeah. Lokesh has got C children. J will have 2C children. That's the idea. Yeah. Next point. Somu, who works in Epson. Okay. Somu works in Epson. Reads Champak. That's direct. Somu works in Epson. Let me write the name of the company here. Epson. He reads Champak. Name of the magazine here. Champak. You getting it? Somu works in Epson and reads Champak. So name of the sport, children, name of the company, and name of the magazine. Next, Lovely does not work in Unisys, and the one who works in Hair does not read Nandan. Lovely does not work in Unisys. Lovely also does not work in Unisys. Yeah, and the one who works in Higher does not read Nandan. So Higher does not read Nandan. Make a note of it very clearly, right? There should be a cross mark. If you forget to put this cross mark, then the whole thing will go for a toss. Yeah. So the one who works in Higher does not read Nandan. Okay. The number of kids of Lovely is equal to the difference of the number of kids of the one who reads Batsman and the one who plays handball. This is interesting. So look at the way we are deciding the number of kids. Okay, the number of kids of Lovely is equal to the difference between the number of kids of the one who reads Batman and the one who plays handball. So we'll come back to this point. I mean, I don't even want to write it down. That's like a mathematical equation, right? No point in writing it down. Deepa works in Sijagon. Okay, straight information. Deepa works in Sijagon. Where is Deepa? Deepa is here. She works in that company, whatever that is called, Sijagon. Neither Lovely nor Jay works in Philips. Neither Lovely nor Jay works in Philips. Neither Lovely nor Jay works in Philips. So Jay does not work in Philips. And Lovely, the last guy, also does not work in Philips. Yes or no? The one who works in Unisys reads neither Nandan nor He-Man. The one who works in Unisys reads neither Nandan nor He-Man. So Unisys, that fellow will not read Nandan or He-Man. Yeah? Unisys will not read Nandan or He-Man. Mahi works in Totus. Mahi works in Totus. Okay, so the top 3 companies are known to us. Epson, Sijagon and Totus. Can we do something now? Okay, I think I can fix Philips now. See how? We know that J does not work in Philips. Philips has not come so far. Epson has come, Sijagon has come, Totus has come. J does not work in Philips. This guy Lovely also does not work in Philips. So if J does not work in Philips, Lovely does not work in Philips, Lokesh has to work in Philips. Yes or no? Lokesh has to work in Philips. And I think I can fix the other companies also. You see, Lovely does not work in Unisys. So Philips is done. I can forget about Philips marking here. Now if you see, Lovely does not work in Unisys. Lovely does not work in Unisys. So if Lovely does not work in Unisys, Unisys has to go for J. There is no other choice. Yes or no? So Unisys is also done. What is left out? Higher. And that company has to go for Lovely now. Yes or no? I think companies are done. Epson, Sijagon, Totus, Unisys, Philips, here. Philips is ruled out for J and Lovely. So Lokesh takes Philips. Unisys was ruled out for Lovely. So Unisys goes for J and left out company here goes for Lovely. So I'll clear this marking on the right hand side because I need space to write down other things here. But you know how we have arrived at the names of the companies, right? Very easy. Now let's fix the remaining things. Now anything else? See, since Philips is fixed, we can fix Superman and 7, right? We know that Philips and Superman and 7 will go together. So Philips wala person will read Superman. And he has got 7 children. So C is equal to 7. If C is equal to 7, this will be 14. Yes or no? C and 2C, we knew that. So 7 and 14. And the one who works in Totus reads Chacha Chaudhary. We knew this. So fix that also. Totus, this will be Chacha Chaudhary. Yes or no? This is also done. Now if you look at this, we know that the one who is in Higher does not read Nandan. The one who is in Unisys also does not read Nandan. So Higher and Unisys guys do not read Nandan. See, Unisys guy will not read Nandan. Higher guy also will also not read Nandan. So obviously Sijagon guy will read Nandan. Guy or girl, whoever that is. Girl, Deepa. Yeah? So Nandan is fixed. Then I know that the Unisys guy will not read He-Man. If Unisys guy will not read He-Man, the guy in higher has to read He-Man. Yes or no? So that is also done. Yeah? So with the help of these 2 points, we have been able to fix the magazines. Now only one magazine is left out, which is what? Batman. Yeah, Batman. Okay, now 2 more attributes are there, which is the name of the sport and the number of children. So let's read on. The person who reads Batman plays Kabaddi. The person who reads Batman plays Kabaddi. Batman plays Kabaddi. Fixed. While the one who reads Nandan plays dodgeball. Nandan plays dodgeball. Nandan, dodgeball. Deepa plays dodgeball. The one who plays Kho-Kho reads neither Chacha Chaudhary nor He-Man. Kho-Kho wala person neither reads Chacha Chaudhary nor He-Man. So Chacha Chaudhary will not play Kho-Kho, He-Man will not play Kho-Kho. Meaning the guys who read those books, right? So Kho-Kho cannot come here, Kho-Kho cannot come here, Kho-Kho has to come for Somu. Then Lovely does not play handball. If Lovely does not play handball, Mahi has to play handball. And only one sport is left out. What is that sport now? I think football. Football has to come for Lovely. Done. So sports are done, the companies are done, and the magazines are done. Only number of children are left out, which can be done now. The number of children Deepa has is 1 less than the number of children of the one who likes Kabaddi. The number of children of Deepa is 1 less than the number of children of the one who likes Kabaddi. Okay, the one who likes Kabaddi has got 14 children. So Deepa will have 1 less child. Yes or no? Number of children of Deepa is 1 less. So 14 means this will become 13. Which country do they belong to? Looks like Indians only, right? 14, 13. Who will have these many children? Anyway, 14. Deepa has got 1 child, one less, so 13. Which is same as the number of children of the one who reads Champak. So you understand, the number of children Deepa has is 1 less than the number of children of the one who likes Kabaddi. And this is same as the number of children of the one who reads Champak. So Deepa's children and the one who reads Champak's children, the count is same. Who reads Champak? Somu reads Champak, so the count is same. You understand? Whoever reads Champak, he has got the same number of children as Deepa. Right? The number of children that Deepa has, it is the same as the number of children of the one who reads Champak. The number of children of Mahi is 2 less than the number of kids of Somu. Mahi is 2 less than Somu. So Mahi is 2 less than Somu means if this is 13, this will be 11. 2 less than Somu. Lovely's children I think will be identified with this statement. The number of kids of Lovely is equal to the difference between the number of kids of the one who reads Batman. Who reads Batman? Jay. He has got 14 kids. And the one who plays handball. Who plays handball? Mahi. He has got 11 kids. What's the difference? See, the number of children of Lovely is the difference of these two numbers. 14 and 11, the difference is 3. Done. So, like you can see, it's very easy. In one attempt, we'll be able to close the gaps. Not complex at all, right? Names, their sports, the number of children, the companies they work for, and the magazines that they read. So in my view, it is actually a very simple question, right? There's no complexity at all. Everything is linked very properly, very nicely. You just have to read the statements, understand the statements properly, and fill the gaps. And it's a 3-minute question if you really ask me. When you look at it, it may not look like. When you read the first paragraph, it's like 5 attributes, can get really complex. But when you start solving it, it just keeps opening up very easily, right? From one point to the other point. So 3 minutes and 5 marks. Yes, a very easy one. Lovely is the best compared to others? Yes, definitely yes. Lovely name and lovely approach. Just have 3 children. Now, should we quickly look at the questions? Let's quickly look at the questions. Let me present the questions to you, alright? The man who works in hire reads what? Reads what? He-Man. Done. None of these. Yes or no? The one who works in hire reads He-Man. Which of the following is true? Lokesh works in Unisys. Lokesh works in Unisys. No. Jay works in Totus. Jay works in Totus. No. Jay plays Kabaddi. Yes, Jay plays Kabaddi. This is true. Somu reads Chacha Chaudhary. Somu does not read Chacha Chaudhary. I mean, once you've got it, you don't have to verify the other options. Which of the following sequences of companies represents Lovely, Deepa, Mahi, Somu, Jay, and Lokesh? So I think elimination is the best technique. We want the companies, sequence of companies for Lovely, Deepa, Mahi, Somu, Jay and Lokesh. So some order has been given. We have to arrange the companies in same order. So you should always go for elimination, right? Elimination. If you can find out one place where all the companies are different, it becomes easier to eliminate that way. But let's start with, let's say, Lovely. We know Lovely works for which company? Lovely works for higher. So first option should be, first position should be higher. So option 3, option 3 gets eliminated. Only one option. Second, Deepa works for Sejagon, right? Deepa works for second one should be Sejagon. So first option is eliminated. Here we have Philips. This is true. This also is true. Then Mahi. Mahi works for which company? Mahi works for Totus. Third place should be Totus. This is Epson. So eliminated. Here the third place is Epson. This is also eliminated. So fifth option, none of the above is the answer. Yes or no? Mahi works for Totus. Third place should be Totus. But it's not there in the possible options. So option 5 is the answer. None of the above. Next question. Who reads He-Man? I think we found, right? Who reads He-Man? The one who is in higher, right? Who reads He-Man? Lovely. Lovely reads He-Man. So the one who is in higher and the one who has 3 kids indirectly. We know that Lovely is the best person here. Lovely, he's got 3 kids. He reads He-Man. So who reads He-Man? The one who having 3 kids. Yeah? Then the last question here is which of the following book company person combination is correct? Lovely, He-Man, higher is correct in my view. Check. Lovely, He-Man, higher. Yes, first option itself is correct. Lovely, here, yeah, correct, right? Which of the following book company person? Lovely reads He-Man, he works in higher. Option 1 is the answer. Done, right? So this also is done. Shall we move on now? Yeah, I think it was pretty simple one. Just a little lengthy in terms of the number of points given to us. Let's now look at some independent questions. I think we'll solve 2 or 3 questions based on data sufficiency. Data sufficiency is kind of gaining importance in bank exams, right? Especially in the SBI PU and the IBPS PU exams there. So it's going to be very, very important. Data sufficiency, like you all know, is not a topic by itself. It's just another way of asking questions on a particular topic, right? We can have questions on time and work, we can have questions on profit and loss, we can have questions on blood relations, we can have questions on circular arrangements. Any question can be asked in the form of data sufficiency. So let's quickly try out a few questions on data sufficiency and then we will move on. Now, a few important points that all of you have to remember while answering questions from data sufficiency are as follows. Number 1, you are not expected to solve the question. You're only expected to find out if you can solve the question from the given data. Right? So do not waste your time in solving the whole question. By some means, if you can figure out that this data is enough, just mark the answer accordingly. Don't actually find the numerical value or don't actually do the complete arrangement. Point number 1. Point number 2, when it comes to data sufficiency, the approach is that you should never answer the question without reading all the statements. Many students commit this mistake of not reading all the statements and marking the answer based on the earlier statements that they have seen. Never do that. You should mark your answer you should mark your answer only after you have read all the statements. There can be 2 statements, 3 statements, 4 statements. Read all the statements, use all the statements and only then decide what the final answer should be. And point number 3, it's very, very important. There will be cases where the statements individually will fail to give the answer. Like there are 2 statements. Statement 1 doesn't give you the answer. Statement 2 also doesn't give you the answer. Only in such cases, you should go for combining the data given in 2 statements. You know the typical options that are given for data sufficiency questions, right? Only statement 1 alone is sufficient, statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Only statement 2 alone is sufficient, statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Either statement 1 alone is sufficient or statement 2 alone is sufficient. The data given in both the statements 1 and 2 together are not sufficient. And the data given in both the statements together can be used to answer the question. So for this 4th and 5th option, usual 4th and 5th options, you have to go for combining the data given in both the statements. And remember, very, very important, that should be done if and only if individually the statements fail to give the answer. Yeah? So these 3 points keep in mind, and I'm sure you will have a easy way out answering questions from data sufficiency. Another important question type in data sufficiency is true or false based questions. We have discussed enough such examples in our videos already, in our live classes already. I'm sure Talent Sprint students would know about it. Others also should know about it for them to score marks in the exam when such questions are asked. So there can be questions which start with is, are, where, true or false type of questions. Like, is X an odd number? And statements are given to us, in data sufficiency. These are complex sounding questions. Most of the students answer these questions wrong, not because they don't have the approach, not because they don't have the right approach. It is because they get confused by reading the question itself. So be very careful, watch those videos if required, and understand how to deal with true or false type of questions under data sufficiency. With this data, let me present the first question to you all from data sufficiency, which is on your screens now. DS is a time consuming process is what I read in the comments. It's not if you have the right approach. The first question is here. Question statement and the 2 statements is given. Find out the answer. Option 4. I already see answers coming in the chat box of Talent Sprint students here. Sugeta, Murlidhar and Chinu. All of them have got option 4, which says data in both 1 and 2 are not sufficient to answer. Alright. Waiting for others to respond before we take it up. Got it? Option 4. Alright, I see most of you have got option 4 as the answer. Let's take it up now. See what it says. A, B, C, D, E, F and G are 7 members of a family. Then how is F related to D? How is F related to D? So basically a question on blood relations here. You know that any topic can be asked in the form of data sufficiency, right? Here it's blood relation. So how is F related to D? Now from the concepts of blood relations, you know that for us to answer this question, for us to be able to answer this question, we should definitely know the gender of F. The gender of F is required. Right? You should keep this in mind, right? You should keep this in mind. Very, very important point. The gender of F is required. Now read statement first of all. A is the father of C, G is the sister of F, D is the sister of E is the mother of F. Now in the statement, I actually find that F and D both are mentioned. Like for example, just by looking at statement 2, I can say statement 2 alone is not going to be sufficient, which means option 2 cannot be the answer. See, understand, these points are very, very important. Statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Why am I saying statement 2 alone is not sufficient? Even before checking statement 1? Because in statement 2, neither F is not mentioned. He has given only data about D. He says B is the mother of D, E is the wife of C. With this data, how will you establish the relationship between F and D? We know something about D, but do we know anything about F? No. Do we know anything about F? No. So just with a glance, you should know that statement 2 alone is not going to be sufficient. And if statement 2 alone is not sufficient, then option 2 cannot be the answer. That data in statement 2 alone is sufficient. And option 3 also cannot be the answer. Either statement 1 alone or statement 2 alone is sufficient. You're getting it? You're getting it? Now look at statement 1. See, I'm not saying that first you should check statement 2. I just moved to statement 2. But ideally, you understand the point I'm trying to make. Try to eliminate the wrong answers with a single glance. Another important point that you have to remember, I think I missed mentioning this earlier. The point that I have now is actually it's a psychological problem. It is not a psychological problem, but mentally it's difficult to follow this, but you have to be very, very careful. What happens with most of us when we are answering questions from data sufficiency is that we read something in statement number 1. We have read about it, we have tried applying it to check if we get the answer or not. We fail to get the answer, meaning statement 1 alone is not sufficient. In that case, what do? We go for statement number 2. Now, what happens with most of us is when you are reading statement number 2, right? Ideally, you should forget everything that was given in statement number 1. Take statement number 2 independently. Do not consider the data given in statement number 1 when you are checking statement number 2 alone. But this is difficult for most of us to follow. What happens is we have that data of statement number 1 very fresh in our mind, right? So when you're trying to check statement number 2, you try to use that data, but actually that's not allowed. Only statement number 2 has to be verified. It's a very, very common and a typical problem, but you have to, come over it, right? Forget about statement number. Don't forget, but make sure that you don't use the data given in statement 1 when you're checking statement number 2, and vice versa, right? So keep that in mind. Now let me check statement number 1 here. See what happens. Now, in statement number 1, A is the father of C, G is the sister of F, D is the sister of C, E is the mother of F. If you see statement number 1, A is the father of C is fine. This neither talks about D nor about F. D is the sister of C, okay, D is female. E is the mother of F, okay, E is female. G is the sister of F, G is female. Do we know the gender of F? No. Here, do we know the gender of F? No. E is the mother of F means yes, E is female. But F can be the son of E or F can be the daughter of E. Both are possible. Similarly, G is the sister of F. Fine, G is female. But F can be the brother of G or can be the sister of G. Meaning the gender of F is not known. If the gender of F is not known, how will you find out the relationship of F with D? Cannot be found, right? Because gender of F is very, very important. How is F related to D? In this kind of a question, if D's gender is not known, it is okay. But F gender must be known. I need not know the gender of D, but I should know the gender of F here. Since F gender is not known, statement 1 alone is not sufficient. If statement 1 alone is not sufficient, option 1 is also eliminated. So 1, 2, 3 are wrong. Now we have to go for combination. But the point, guys, is simple. Even if you combine, what's going to happen? The gender of F is still unknown, right? Gender of F is not given in 2 also. By any chance, if gender of F is given in statement number 2, then we may consider combining the two data. But even if I combine, I'll be still in that confusion. What confusion? Is F male or female? And unless that confusion is sorted, we will not be able to answer this question. So I can conclude that the data given in both the statements 1 and 2 are not sufficient to answer this question. The data given in both statements 1 and 2 is not sufficient to answer this question, based on the simple fact that the gender of F is not known. So for all those who think data sufficiency is complex and time consuming and confusing, it's actually not. If you follow that step-by-step process, first checking statement 1, then checking only statement 2, or checking only statement 2 and then checking only 1. If both of these statements independently fail, then you go for combination. It becomes easy. And yes, of course, you should definitely know the concepts of blood relations. I mean, if the question is on blood relation, you should know the concepts of blood relation. If the question is on time and work, then you should know the concept of time and work. That smartness has to be there. If you can't solve questions on blood relations, then don't even attempt data sufficiency question on blood relation. It's very, very important. Like for example, some of you are weak in blood relations. You always go wrong there. So when you see this question, right, don't even attempt it. Because the conceptual knowledge required itself is poor with you. Then what's the point in trying this new format? Similarly, if you are not strong in, let's say, simple and compound interest, and the question on data sufficiency is based on simple and compound interest, don't even try it out. Skip it and go to the next one. Okay? So The first one is done. Let's look at the next question on data sufficiency, which is on your screens now. Here we've got 6 persons having different ages. Who among them is youngest? Who among them is youngest? Try this. Try this now. Option 4 again. Okay, I think most of you have got option 4, but then we have Harita Reddy who says option 5. Both 1 and 2 together are sufficient. शेखर कुमार says RRB PO के लिए कुछ करे सर जी. Well, शेखर कुमार, वैसे तो सेशन आज का SBI PO मेंस और SBI क्लर्क प्रीलिम्स के लिए SBI क्लर्क मेंस के लिए किया जा रहा है, बट टॉपिक्स यही होते हैं. तो जो यहाँ पर डिस्कस हो रहा है वो आपको RRB PO मेंस में भी काम आएगा, RRB PO प्रीलिम्स में भी काम आएगा, राइट? सो रीजनिंग इज रीजनिंग फॉर ऑल द एग्जाम्स. Alright, so option 4, most of you got option 4, but I think Venkat and a few others have got option 5. Let's look at this. Mohan Krishna has also got option 5. Surya Prakash has got option 2. Okay, right. Let's take it up. 6 persons, A, B, C, D, E and F are having different ages. Who among them is youngest? Now, if you have gone through our videos on ranking and ordering, under ranking and ordering, model number 5. Model number 5 is our question type. We have got videos on each model. So ranking and ordering, model 5. If you all have watched this video in Talent Sprints coaching, you would know the best way to solve these questions. Solve this particular question. Okay. So let's see. Now, who among them is youngest? This is important. In fact, more than the word youngest, the letters EST are important. Youngest, eldest, heaviest, lightest, fastest, slowest, biggest, smallest, indicates extreme positions in the order. So in the 6 persons, who is youngest? And whenever you have to find out the extreme position, right, you don't have to actually do the order. You can eliminate who are not the youngest. For example, when I look at statement 1, A, B, C, D, E, F are the persons, right? How will I solve this? Look at this. My focus is on the youngest person. I mean, the question's requirement is on the youngest person, but I will not find the youngest person. Understand, the reverse psychology or the reverse process works here. He's asking you to find out the youngest. Don't find out the youngest one. Find out who cannot be the youngest person. You getting it? For every question, there are 5 options. 1 is the correct answer. 4 options are wrong. Now, for you to get the answer here, either you should find out the correct answer or find out which 4 are wrong. And believe me, in some cases, finding out which 4 are wrong is a lot easier than finding out which one is correct. This is one such example. So let's discuss which cannot be the answer. Who cannot be the youngest? B is elder than C. If B is elder than C, can B be the youngest? No. So B is eliminated. B cannot be the answer. Now whether C is youngest or not, we can't say. But B definitely is not the youngest. B is not the eldest. Doesn't matter because anyway B is eliminated. C is elder than E. C is elder than E means what? C is not the youngest. Is E the youngest? We can't say. But C definitely is not the youngest. So after reading statement number 1, within 3 to 4 seconds, I find that B and C cannot be the answers. Because B is elder than C, B cannot be youngest. And C is elder than E, C cannot be the youngest. E may or may not be the youngest. However, no information is given about A, E or F. Is statement 1 alone enough to answer the question? No. I have to find out who is youngest. It can be A, it can be D, it can be E, or it can be F. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient. If 1 alone is not sufficient, option 1 and option 3 get eliminated. Similarly, go for statement 2. Statement 2, again A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, who is the youngest? No. We are not looking at that. We are looking at who is not the youngest. D is elder than B. D is elder. Since D is elder, D cannot be the youngest. A is elder than C. A cannot be youngest. But younger than B. If A is younger than B, B becomes elder than A. If B becomes elder than A, B cannot be the youngest. You understand? So from statement 2, again within 2 to 3 seconds, we will be able to eliminate A, B and D. A cannot be youngest, B cannot be youngest, D cannot be youngest. But C, E or F, any one of these 3 guys can be the youngest guy. So statement 2 alone is also not sufficient, which means option 2 is also ruled out. Now when individually both the statements have failed to give the answer, you have to go for combination. And clearly when you look at this data that we have here, even if you combine both the points together, what happens? Because C is not youngest in the first case, C cannot be youngest in the second case. Because A is not youngest in the second case, A cannot be youngest in the first case. Because D is not the youngest in the second case, D cannot be the youngest in the first case. But still, there is no data about E and F, right? Between E and F, we cannot decide. Because there is no point with respect to F. If you see, there is no mention of F in this data at all. So the point is, we will not be able to decide even if we combine both the data together, both the statements together. So answer should be option 4. Data in both the statements 1 and 2 are not sufficient to answer this question. Again, for those who think data sufficiency is difficult, it's not if you're conceptually strong in the topic to which the question belongs to. Here, the concept was finding out the extrememost position. And like we have discussed in our videos, model 5 of ranking and ordering, finding out the extrememost position or the extreme position is very easy. Right? Actually, you do the reverse thing. You don't find the extreme position. You find out what cannot be the extreme position. And that makes the job simple. So answer is option 4 again. Let's move on to the next question on data sufficiency, which is on your screens here. This time it's on linear arrangement. All right. Interesting. Linear arrangement within data sufficiency. Good combination. Try it out. I hope all of you are able to follow. Please keep sharing your feedback. That will help us improve and also motivate us, right? Try this out quickly. Option 4, Vidyarajan, Chinu Varghese, Shubham Verma and Lakshman. They have all said option 4, but Haritha Reddy says both are required. Barkha Rai also says both are required. Rajesh Kumar says option 4, Rama says option 4. So confusion. Is it option 5 or option 4? Are both required or both not sufficient? Option 5 or option 4? Chalo, let's take it up. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E and F sit in a row having 6 seats. All of them are facing north. Who among the following is sitting exactly third from the left end of the row? So basically we are talking about a 6-seater arrangement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seats, all of them are facing north. This is important. What's the importance of north here? Meaning left of the person is on the left of paper, right of the person is on the right of paper. Now, here he says who is sitting exactly third from the left end of the row. Third from the left end of the row. First, second, third from the left end of the row. So who's sitting in this position is the question here. Yeah? Try it out. Let's look at statement 1. Look at statement 1. 2 persons sit between C and E. 2 persons sit between D and B. Now, if you have practiced even a few questions on linear arrangement, you would know that this data cannot give you the answer because there will be multiple possibilities. If you look at statement 1, you will get multiple possibilities. All it says is there will be 2 persons between C and E and 2 persons between D and B. But will you be able to figure out exactly who comes third? No. Yes or no? There can be multiple possibilities. The moment you get multiple possibilities, multiple answers, you can say statement 1 is not sufficient. You getting me? Just to give you an example, we can have it like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats, right? There are 2 persons between C and D. I can have C dash dash E. There are 2 persons between D and B. Now, it can be like this. D dash dash B or C dash dash E again. It can be B dash dash D. Similarly, we can swap BD with CE. We'll get more answers. So the point is, in the third position, we have D in one case, we have B in the other case. Are we able to find out the answer? No. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Yes or no? Statement 1 alone is not sufficient. So 1 and 3 are ruled out. Option 1 and option 3 are ruled out. Now try statement 2 alone. What happens? Either C or A sit at the extreme end. F sits at one of the extreme ends. B is not an immediate neighbor of C. This again, without putting any pen on paper, you should be able to say that statement 2 alone is also not sufficient. Why statement 2 alone is not sufficient? Because he says C or A will be at one of the extreme end, F will be at the other extreme end, B is not a neighbor of C. So there will be multiple possibilities. For example, see, these are the possibilities of 1. Let me give you the possibilities of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He says F sits at one of the extreme ends. Let's assume this is F. Either C or A sit at the other extreme end. C, here F again, and here A. Similarly, there can be C and A here in the front end, F at the other end. Yeah. Now, the only other point given is B is not an immediate neighbor of C. B is not a neighbor of C. So B can come here or here or here. I can put B here. Or in this case, if you see B is not a neighbor of C, I can put B here. Or B can come here. So the point is, if you observe first possibility of case number 2, B is coming in the third position. If you observe the third possibility of case 2, B will not come in the third position because B is in the fourth position. It can be A or D or E. So are we getting multiple answers using statement number 2? Yes. It can be B or it can be anybody else. So is statement number 2 alone sufficient? No. Statement number 2 alone is also not sufficient. And again, I'm repeating, guys, I am putting these possibilities on paper so that you can follow. As such, you don't have to put pen on paper for evaluating that 1 and 2 alone are not required. I mean, 1 and 2 alone are wrong, are not sufficient. You kidding me? Without writing this on paper, you should be able to decide that 1 alone is not sufficient. Without writing this on paper, you should be able to decide that 2 alone is not sufficient. So if 1 alone and 2 alone are not sufficient, option 1, option 2, option 3 are ruled out. Now we have to go for combination. Now we have to go for the combination. So when you combine all the data, what happens? You may or may not get the answer. So let's see what happens when you combine the data, right? Let me just clear it up, right? Let me just clear it up and show you what happens when you combine. Will you get the answer? If we get 2 possibilities, then we can immediately say even the combination is not sufficient. So let me explain it to you. Right? See, 2 persons are sitting between C and E, that's 1 point. 2 persons are sitting between D and B. So C dash dash E, they can swap their positions. D dash dash B, they can also swap their positions. These are the 2 points given in statement number 1. What are the points given in statement number 2? F is at the extreme end, right? C or A is at the extreme end, and B is not an immediate neighbor of C. B is not an immediate neighbor of C. So using the points given in 1 and 2 together, let's try to do the arrangement, right? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll write down multiple possibilities. All I'm trying to prove is we can get different persons in position number 3. That's what we have to identify, right? Who comes in position number 3? We can get different positions. See what happens. We know that there are 2 persons between C and D. C dash dash E. Yeah. Now, from the second statement, we know that if C is at one of the extreme ends, F is definitely at one of the extreme ends. So if C has occupied one end, F has to occupy the other end. So I'll take this C, E, F. Are you able to follow? I have followed this point. I have followed F being at the other extreme end point. Right? Now, look at D dash dash B. I can have... can I have D dash dash B fixed here? Yes, I can have D dash dash B. See, I cannot take B dash dash B because B should not be a neighbor of C. We know that B is not an immediate neighbor of C. So B cannot come in this position. It has to be D only. So D dash dash. So it's resulting in the same arrangement. I think I am doing the same thing in both the cases. Let me just clear the second case. Yeah, so in this case we get A as the answer. Hold on. In this case we get A as the answer. Yes or no? A is the answer. So this is one possibility where we get A as the answer without violating any of the conditions. It says 2 persons between C and D satisfied. 2 persons between D and B satisfied. F is at the extreme end satisfied. C is at the extreme end satisfied. And B is not a neighbor of C satisfied. Let me take case number 2. In case number 2, let's say A is at this end. F is at the other extreme end. C dash dash. So I think A cannot be at the extreme end. See, we know that either C or A has to sit at the extreme end, right? Either C or A has to sit at the extreme end. I don't think we can take A at the extreme end in any case, because if A is at the extreme end, definitely the other end will be F. Now we want 2 persons between C and D and 2 persons between D and B. That's not possible when there are only 4 positions left out. Like if we take C dash dash E here, we cannot take D dash dash B. If we take D dash dash B here, we cannot take C dash dash E. You're able to follow? So either C or A sits at the extreme end. A cannot be at the extreme end. So this part is ruled out. A cannot be at the extreme end. So we are not getting any case. We will not be getting any case where A is at the extreme end. C only has to be at the extreme end. You're able to follow? So in that case, if C is at one of the extreme end, definitely the other extreme end is F. Then if C is here, dash dash E. Okay, but then let me tell you, C can be at the other extreme end, right? That is possible. Let me show you what happens. What happens if we take C at the other extreme end? If we take C here, then F has to come here. This is case number 2. C dash dash E. Here ends the matter. We want B dash dash D also. B should not be a neighbor. So D can come here, dash dash B. And A comes here. See the problem. In case number 1, without violating any of the conditions, we have got this arrangement. A is at the third position. In case number 2, without violating any of the conditions, all the conditions that have been satisfied. C is at one end, F is at the other end, B dash dash D, C dash dash E, all is satisfied. B is not a neighbor of C, all that is satisfied, but we got E in the third position. So the point is, by combining both the statements together, we are able to get the arrangement, but there are multiple arrangements possible. C, D, A, E, B, F is possible, F, B, E, A, D, C is possible, and I'm sure there can be other possibilities as well. But here ends the matter for us, because in third position we get A, sometimes we get E sometimes. So are we able to find out who comes in third position? No. We are not able to find out the definite person in third position using the two statements together. So even if we combine both the 1 and 2 statements together, we will not get the answer. Hence, option 4. You're getting it? So we can have A as the answer, or we can have E as the answer. We are not able to get a particular answer by combining the 2 points together. So option 4, data in both 1 and 2 together are not sufficient is the answer. So all those who have got option 5, that data in both 1 and 2 are necessary to answer, are wrong, because you are not checking all the possibilities. Remember, when you are solving questions from data sufficiency, all the possibilities have to be verified. It becomes like a syllogism question, right? All the possibilities have to be checked. Yeah? Somebody says F, B, E, A, D, C is also possible. F, B, E, that's what I got, no? F, B, E, A, D, C. Second arrangement. So you can have multiple arrangements. I mean, once you have got 2 arrangements, I think you should stop. No need to check whether there is a third arrangement possible or not possible. It's a waste of time. Once I've got 2 arrangements and 2 different answers for third position, there ends the matter. Why should I waste my time in checking the third arrangement or fourth arrangement or fifth arrangement? Because whether third arrangement exists or not, answer is it's insufficient. Saurabh has asked me a question. Sir, can we skip this type of questions as it takes more time and also there is no surety of getting the correct answer? How to tackle? I don't think it takes more. See, my explanation might have taken longer because I'm trying to give you a detailed explanation. But when you do it yourself, right, arriving at two possible answers will not take more than a minute. In my view, the first and second steps that I had done, right, verifying statement 1 alone, verifying statement 2 alone, that's not required. When you look at the statement, you know multiple possibilities will be there. So eliminate directly. Option 1 alone, option 2 alone are eliminated. Directly go for combination. Smart people will directly go for combination. Yeah. Now you can say, why are you trying it out then? Because I want to explain it to you. I can't explain what I'm thinking, what I'm visualizing, right? So please do not go by the length of the explanation. Length of the explanation is nowhere related to the actual time required to solve the question. Okay. Shall we move on? Alright, so I think we are done with this. Time is also up, it's 8:15 already, but I would like to take just one more question before we close it. I think many Talent students are asking me to take up the chemical based puzzle that we had asked in the last All India mock exam. I mean, those who have not attempted the All India mock exam may not know about what puzzle it is, but looks like many of you have found it to be a difficult one. So let me take that puzzle and then close the session. I'll present it immediately. I think I have that puzzle in my presentation today. Yeah. The question which was based on chemicals, different chemicals. So this is an arrangement based puzzle. See what it says. Yeah, Vidya, Rajan, Neeraj and many others have asked for the chemicals puzzle. So let's see what happens here. So this puzzle talks about 8 chemicals. I'm just giving you the context. 8 chemicals: oxide, ammonium sulfate, acetone, carbonate, chloride, nitrate and persulfate, which are kept one above the other, but not necessarily in the same order. Among them, each 2 chemicals belong to a class from 9th to 12th. So 8 chemicals and there are 4 different classes: 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So each class has got 2 chemicals. 9th class has got 2 chemicals, 10th class has got 2 chemicals and so on. The colors of the covers of the chemicals are different again: blue, brown, red, orange, green, grey, black, purple. So you know what needs to be done. It has got 3 attributes: chemicals, classes and colors. But it's not just assignment, it's assignment plus arrangement, because these 8 chemicals have been arranged from bottom to top, kept one above the other. Just like a floor based puzzle, right? Floor based puzzle. So it's a typical arrangement with multiple attributes. So it's going to be a little more time consuming when compared to a regular assignment based problem. Okay, so let me present the question now. I'll leave you with this for about 5 minutes and then discuss the solution. Your clock starts now. Try it out. Five minutes is what you have, guys. Start trying it out now. Confusion is what I see. Confusion is what I see among you guys, huh? After exam, I tried with 3 possibilities, but unable to get it, is what buddy says. So I'm assuming all you guys are trying it out. Please keep me posted about what's happening at your end, so that I know that you guys are doing it, not doing it. You need more time and stuff. We will quickly discuss this once you are done. Doing it, I'll skip. I'm still doing it. I'm reading out your responses. I'm not saying that I'll skip it, but Lakshman says classes are fixed. Anubrat is still trying. Surya Prakash is still trying. Supriya, Shantanu Day. All of you are trying. So let me allow you for some more time, because it's always good that you get it yourself. Let's see. Done? Alright. So, shall we take it up? All right, let's take it up. I think enough time has been given. Looks like Lakshman and some of you have got it, but mostly you guys are struck. Okay, so the last question from the session today, which was on reasoning for the upcoming SBI PO mains and SBI clerk mains exam. However, such questions are asked in most of the bank exams, so the discussion is going to be useful for all the exams, but this is more to do with the most recent ones coming ahead, right? Now, the question, like you all know, is based on some 8 chemicals which have to be arranged from bottom to top. Each chemical is packed in a different colored cover, and each chemical belongs to a different class, 9th, 10th, 11th or 12th. So let's quickly solve this and see what's the approach. Here we go. See what it says. 8 chemicals, namely oxide, ammonium, sulfate, acetone, carbonate, chloride, nitrate and persulfate, are kept one above the other or one over the other, but not necessarily in the same order. Among them, each 2 chemicals belong to classes from 9th to 12th. So there are 8 chemicals, and there are only 4 classes if we see, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So each class has got 2 chemicals basically. 9th will have 2, 10th class will have 2 chemicals, 11th class will have 2 chemicals, and the 12th class will also have 2 chemicals. The colors of the cover of the chemicals are blue, brown, red, orange, gray, black and purple. So 8 colors, 8 chemicals and only 4 classes. Each class will have 2 colors. Now, look at the data. Sulfate chemical is kept 3rd place from the bottom and belongs to class 9 and so on. So let me create some space here. Yeah. So like you all know, chemicals have to be arranged from bottom to top. So let me write down the positions bottom to top. I mean, there's no sequence as such, but like we can't say that bottommost position number 1, bottom to topmost position number 8, but we can consider it like a floor-based puzzle so that it becomes easy. So let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 8 positions. So 3rd from bottom is number 3 position. 4th from top will not be this one. 4th from top will be 5th position. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So we have to be careful. From bottom, from top, accordingly you have to count. Now, read the first statement. Sulfate chemical is kept at 3rd place from bottom, straight. Sulfate is 3rd place from bottom. So this is sulfate and belongs to class 9th, even, straight, 9, and color is required. So chemical, class and color, that's the sequence that we take up. The carbonate chemical, which is not gray, is kept just below the nitrate chemical. Now, like I've always said, in such questions you have to make small pictures. You have to make pictures and then try to fix those pictures. So what will be the picture for this one? Carbonate is not gray and it is kept just below the nitrate chemical. So nitrate, just below that we'll put carbonate. So meaning nitrate and carbonate are together. You getting it? These two are together. Carbonate chemical is just below the nitrate chemical. And carbonate is not gray. This is not gray. Remember, it is not gray in color. One of the class 11th chemical is kept between class 9th and 10th. One of the 11th class chemical will be between class 9th and class 10th, respectively. Meaning, it will be like this. 11th is here between 9th and 10th. Again, it can swap the positions like this. It can be 9, 11, 10 or 10, 11, 9. 11 is between 9 and 10. That's what we know. The cover of acetone and persulfate chemicals is not gray. Acetone and persulfate is also not gray. So just make a note of it. Acetone, comma, persulfate is not gray. So we know 3 chemicals which are not gray: acetone, persulfate and carbonate. This point is also done. So I have made pictures of all these points. These are all the pictures. There are 3 chemicals between red and orange colored chemicals. 3 between red and orange colored chemicals. Okay. 3 between red and orange. So red, 3, orange. You understand? Between red and orange there are going to be 3 chemicals. Now these 2 can swap their positions. Red, 3 and then orange, or orange, 3 and then red. Okay. The 2 chemicals in the middle belong to class 12th. The 2 chemicals in the middle belong to... Now what do you mean by middle? The 2 middlemost positions. So when there are 8 boxes, the 2 middle boxes are 4th and 5th box. 3 at the bottom, 3 at the top. In middle we have 4 and 5. So these 2 chemicals belong to class 12. Meaning 5th is 12, 4th is also 12. So class 12 is done. Out of 9, 10, 11, 12, the 2 class 12 chemical positions are known. Yeah. The chemical with black cover is 3 places below the one with green color. The chemical with black is 3 places below, very clearly specified. Black is below the green color. How many places? 3 places below. Be careful, black is 3 places below green. So green, 1, 2 and 3 places below. So black. So there will be 2 places between green and black. You understand? He's not saying that there are 3 covers between black and green. He says the black is 3 places below green. So 1 place below green, 2 places below green, 3 places below green. So between black and green there will be 2 places, 2 covers. And black is exactly below. We can swap this. Like 9 and 10 can be swapped. Red and orange can be swapped. But green and black cannot be swapped because black is below green, very clearly he specified. Yeah. Chloride and sulfate chemical are adjacent to each other. Chloride and sulfate are adjacent to each other and neither of it are on top or bottom. Now this is interesting again. Chloride and sulfate are adjacent to each other, but neither of it are on top or bottom. How do you write this? I don't have space here. See, it's like this. Chloride and sulfate are together. It can interchange the positions. It can be sulfate above chloride or chloride above sulfate, but neither of it are on top or bottom. They are not from 8th position or on 1st position. Make a note of this. So neither chloride nor sulfate will be on top, nor will be at the bottom, but both of them are together. I think sulfate is already fixed, so chloride can be fixed, right? See, sulfate is here, so where can chloride come? Chloride can come either above sulfate or below sulfate. Yes or no? So chloride will either come above sulfate or below sulfate. So there are 2 possibilities. Yeah? I think I'll get 2 possibilities to start with. Anyway, the chemical with red cover is just above the nitrate chemical. Chemical with red is just above the nitrate chemical. So red is just above nitrate. So red is here, just above nitrate. Red is just above nitrate. Yeah. One of the class 10th chemical is brown in color, which is not kept on top. One of the class 10th chemical is brown in color, which is not kept on top. So brown color belongs to class 10 basically. Indirectly we know that brown is 10th class and it is not on top. Yes or no? Brown color chemical belongs to class 10 but not on top. Cover of oxide is of purple color and it is 3rd position from the top. Oh, this is direct. Oxide is purple color and 3rd position from top. 3rd position from top. Yeah. I think what I'll do is I have to write it a little closely because space may not be sufficient. I am getting 2 possibilities. So I'll just, sulfate is in 3rd position, 12, 12, 9. Remember that. Sulfate is in 3rd position, 12, 12, 9. Since I'm getting 2 possibilities, it's like this. Sulfate is in 3rd position. Yeah, it was 9th and this was 12 and 12. I'll write the color here, I'll take the second set here. Okay. Now the point given was cover of oxide is of purple color and it is 3rd position from top. What is the 3rd position from top? 1st, 2nd, 3rd. This is oxide. It is 3rd position from top and it is purple in color. So oxide, the class is not known but it's purple. The 2 class 11 chemicals are carbonate and ammonium. Carbonate and ammonium are 11th class chemicals. So carbonate and ammonium belong to 11th class. Okay. So these are all the small pictures that we have. All the statements have been read. So the point now is I don't have to go back to the data. I don't have to go back to the data. Data has been read, all these pictures have been made. So if I have to understand the pictures, brown color belongs to class 10, it is not on top. Chloride and sulfate are together, but they are neither on top position or at the bottom position. Carbonate belongs to 11th, ammonium also belongs to 11th class. Nitrate and carbonate are together, nitrate is above carbonate, carbonate is not green color. Acetone and persulfate are not green color. Between green and black there are 2 boxes and green is above black. Red is exactly above nitrate. Red and orange has got 3 covers or 3 chemicals between them and they can swap their positions. And one of the class 11th chemicals, like it said, was between 9th and 10th. But again 9th and 10th can swap the position. So this is the understanding we have. Other things have been plotted on the graph itself. Now how do I start? I think I would like to start with this point. Chloride and sulfate being together because sulfate is already, see, for me to connect these points here in the arrangement, I should have either sulfate or oxide or 12th or 9th or purple used somewhere. The only thing which is common among the pictures here is sulfate with the arrangement. Sulfate is common, right? So sulfate I can use. Sulfate and chloride are together and they're neither on top nor on bottom. Now the point is, chloride can either come above sulfate or below sulfate. Chloride can either come above sulfate or below sulfate. Do we know the class of chloride? No. Chloride can be, it cannot be 12th, it can be 12th class also. Chloride can be your 12th class, it can be Yes or no? Yeah, so I think let's take both the cases. So what I'll do is, first of all, I'll repeat whatever I've done already, duplicating it. Oxide dash purple. One of the cases will be wrong. This is 12th, this is 12th, this is 9th, and this is sulfate. You're getting it? Two possibilities. So far everything is same. Oxide purple, 12, 12, 12, 12, sulfate 9, sulfate 9. Now I'll take this point, chloride. This point, chloride above sulfate or chloride below sulfate. Yes or no? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah? So this point is done. Yeah? Chloride also has been marked. Now, what else can be done? This is done. Which one shall I use now? See, nitrate and carbonate have to be together. Use this point. Yes or no? We know that nitrate and carbonate have to be together, and nitrate should be above carbonate. Somewhere it was given, right? Nitrate is just above carbonate. Where is it? I'm sure it was given somewhere. Carbonate is just below nitrate. Carbonate is just below nitrate chemical. So carbonate is just below nitrate, meaning I need two consecutive positions for these two chemicals. For nitrate and carbonate, I need two consecutive positions. If I look at this is case number 1, by the way, and this is case number 2. If I look at case number 1, the only place where there are two consecutive positions, two pairs of consecutive positions available, 8th and 7th, and 1st and 2nd. 1st and 2nd. Yes or no? But then if I connect nitrate, carbonate, and with this one, I know that, see, connect this. Red is immediately above nitrate. Look at this. Red is immediately above nitrate. And nitrate is immediately above carbonate. So can I say red, nitrate, and carbonate are together? 3 consecutive positions are required. You getting it? Now I am converging the two pictures. Which two pictures? Red should be immediately above nitrate, and nitrate should be immediately above carbonate. So basically red, nitrate, and carbonate have to be together. Yes or no? Red, nitrate, carbonate have to be together. Right? In that order. So this point is actually used. I can say red and nitrate, we have clubbed, this point is used. Now see, if you look at case number 1, if I take nitrate and carbonate on position 8th and 7th, red will not be accommodated. Red will go outside it, right? So the only place where I can fix nitrate and carbonate together is 2nd and 1st. So this is nitrate. This is carbonate, and the one above nitrate should be red, meaning the color this side should be red. So red, nitrate, carbonate, they're together. Red, nitrate, carbonate. Yes or no? You getting it? Red, nitrate, carbonate. Now try to fix the same thing in case number 2. In case number 2 again, we have two pairs of consecutive positions, 1, 2 or 1, 2. But the problem is, can I take nitrate and carbonate here, 7th and 8th? No, because red will go outside. If I take nitrate and carbonate here, this color should be red, but this is purple. So this is wrong. Case number 2 is wrong. You're able to follow? I can conclude that case number 2 is wrong. Why is case number 2 wrong? Because I'm not able to fix this piece. Red, nitrate, carbonate wala piece, I'm not able to fix. It cannot come on 7th and 8th. Meaning nitrate and carbonate cannot come in 7th and 8th, because above that it should be red color, which is not, possible in this case. And if I take nitrate and carbonate here, this will be red color, but this is already purple. So case 2 is eliminated. Now only one case is left out. Let's work on it. So this point is done. Red, nitrate, carbonate is done. Just remember, the color cannot be grey. Carbonate cannot be grey color. That you have to remember. Now, what else do we know? Achha, we know that carbonate belongs to 11th class. You see, carbonate belongs to 11th class, so I'll write 11 here. Carbonate belongs to 11th class. This point is also done. Ammonium will also belong to 11th class. Wherever ammonium comes, it belongs to 11th class. What else can be done? Between red and orange, this point, let's use this point. Between red and orange, there should be 3 covers, 3 chemicals, this point. So red is here. Again, red and orange can be swapped, but then since red is here, orange either comes at bottom or top. But bottom is not possible. 1, 2, 3, orange will go out of the arrangement. Are you getting it? This is the end. If red is here, 1, 2, 3, orange will go out. So orange has to be on top. So fix orange on top. 1, 2, 3, orange has to come here. 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 colors between red and orange. This part is done. Red and nitrate anyway is done. Yeah? Anything else that we know about orange? No, we don't know anything about orange. Now, understand one more point. Orange is fixed. Ammonium 11. Ammonium 11 either will come on 8th place or 7th place. Because carbonate 11 is fixed. This cannot be ammonium. Ammonium should go with 11. So ammonium will either come on 7th or 8th position. Achha, by the way, look at this point now. 9, 11, 10. We know that one of the 11th class chemicals, this point, where was it given? One of the 11th class, one of the class 11th chemical is kept between 9th and 10th. If you look at it, already one of the 11th class chemical is here at the bottommost position. Is it between 9 and 10? No. There will be 2 chemicals in 11th class. Out of that, one chemical is between 9th and 10th. But carbonate is not that chemical because carbonate is already at the bottommost position. Is it between 9 and 10? No. So of course ammonium has to be that chemical. If carbonate is not that chemical which we are referring to, then it should be ammonium which comes between 9th and 10th. Now go back to our point earlier. Ammonium we know either will come on 7th position or 8th position. Ammonium will either come on 7th or 8th. But now can you take ammonium on 8th place? See, ammonium cannot come in 5th position because it belongs to 11th class. Ammonium should come on 7th or 8th. But if you take ammonium on 8th position, topmost position, then it will not be between 9th and 10th, right? So ammonium cannot come on topmost position. Ammonium has to come on 7th position. If ammonium comes on 7th position, then this is 11th class, definitely. Right? So ammonium 11th is done. Ammonium 11th is done. 9th and 10th have to be fixed. Which is 9, which is 10th have to be fixed. So 2 11th positions are done, 2 12 positions are done. Right? 11 and 12 both are done. 1 9 and 1 10th is left out. 2 11, yeah, 1 9 and 2 10th are left out. 2 10th class chemicals are left out. Yeah. Which point can I use next? Achha, what are the chemicals left out by the way? I think 6 chemicals are marked, right? Oxide is marked, ammonium is marked, sulfate is marked, acetone is left out, carbonate is marked, chloride is marked, nitrate, persulfate. Acetone and persulfate is left out. Do we have any point about persulfate? I thought we have some point. Yeah, acetone and persulfate are not green color. Yeah, but they can take either of those positions. So what do we do next? Either this will be 9, 10 or 10, 9. 9, 10 or 10, 9. Achha, the point is very clear. Understand. We know that this 11th is sandwiched between 9 and 10. So 1 9 and 1 10 will come here. So obviously 1 9 is here. The other 9 will be one of these 2 positions. So 9th is also done. Which means nitrate should be from 10th class. Are you able to follow? We know that this 11th is going to be between 9 and 10. Since this 11th is between 9 and 10, 1 9, 1 10 occupies these 2 positions, 6th and 8th in some order. So 1 9th is already here, the other 9th comes on 6th or 8th. So obviously this one should be 10th because 2 9s are done, 2 12s are done, 2 11s are done. This should be 10th. So nitrate is from 10th class. Now either this can be brown or whichever. Okay, I'll tell you what. We know that one of the class 10 chemicals is brown in color. This point. Use this point now. Brown and 10. Somewhere it was given, right? The brown color is from 10th class and it is not on top. Yes or no? That point was given somewhere. From there only I have noted, right? Where is that? Let me reread that point because I want some clarity there. Brown, where is it? One of the class 10 chemical is brown in color which is not kept on top. So brown color chemical is not kept on top. So if you observe, brown is not kept on top. It belongs to class 10, it says. So brown cannot come here. And brown should belong to class 10. So brown and 10 are together but it's not on top. So brown cannot come here. Brown anyway cannot come here also. Because this is purple orange. Brown is from class 10, so these 2 are 12th class, this is 9th class, so brown has to come here. Are you able to follow the point? One of the brown colored chemical, one of the class 10 chemicals is brown color, it's not on top. So brown and 10th will be together, but it will not be top. Then this cannot be brown, this cannot be brown. These 2 cannot be brown because these are from class 12th. This is anyway red. This cannot be brown because this is class 11. So brown is to nitrate. So this point is also done. Now, yeah, so I think we have used this, we have not yet completed this part. Ammonium 9/10 has not been fixed. This has been fixed, this has been fixed. Okay, now use this point. Green and black will have two boxes in between them. Green and black. What is possible? Green dash dash black is possible. Green dash dash black is not, or green dash dash black. Yeah. So there are two possibilities. Green can be 8th position or green can be 4th position. Accordingly, black will come somewhere. Is there any point that we have missed? You have used all the points, right? Sulfate is 3rd place from bottom, belongs to 9th, yes. Carbonate is not grey, it's just below nitrate, yes. One of 11th class chemical is between 9th and 10th, respectively. Is the word respectively got some significance here? I don't think so. One of the class 11th chemical is between 9th and 10th, respectively. Respectively means what? No, I don't think we can use the word respectively to identify which is 9th and which is 10th here. The cover of acetone and persulfate is not grey. Okay. There are 3 chemicals between red and orange. That is done, right? Red dash 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 orange is done. 2 chemicals in the middle is from 12th class. Chemical with black cover is 3 places below the one with green color. Chloride and sulfate are adjacent to each other, yes. And neither of it is top or bottom. The chemical with red is just above nitrate, yes. One of the 10th chemical is brown and it's not on top. Cover of oxide is purple and is 3rd position from top, yes. The 2 class 11 chemicals are carbonate and aluminum. Yeah, so I think we have to now look at these colors, green and black. That's the only point left out, green and black, right? So green dash dash black or green dash dash black. Now the point is, out of the colors, if you see, I think colors will help us now. We have fixed red, brown, orange, purple. Red, brown, orange, purple are fixed. Green, black, grey and blue are left out. If you take, and we know that acetone and persulfate cannot be grey. Yeah, see the point is this. If I take green dash dash black, if I take chloride as green dash dash black, then definitely, see these empty chemical positions will be acetone and persulfate only, right? These two have not been marked yet. We know that acetone has not been marked, persulfate has not been marked. So if I take acetone and persulfate in these two positions, they will definitely come in 5th and 8th position in some order, right? And if I take green and black in these two places, then definitely the grey color will be either 5th position or 8th position. Yes or no? Among the colors, grey is left out, black is left out, green is left out and blue is left out. The point is, if I fix green and black in the bottom part, green dash dash black, then either this will be grey or that will be grey. And those two chemicals are going to be acetone and persulfate, which cannot be grey. Which indicates that green and black cannot come in 4th and 1st position respectively. Green has to be the topmost position and black has to be this position. You getting it? You cannot take green and black at the bottom. You cannot take green and black at the bottom. Now we know that carbonate is not grey. See, carbonate is not grey. This cannot be grey. So this has to be grey color. And obviously the left out color blue has to come here. So I think the colors are all fixed now. Green, black are fixed. Grey and blue are also fixed. Okay, so this part is done. But still, how do we fix acetone and persulfate? They are not grey. Yes, acetone and persulfate are not grey is fixed now, because grey color is chloride. This part is also done now. So 2 things are left out. 9th and 10th is left out and acetone and persulfate is left out. What do we do? Just look at the statements once again. I think either the word respectively has to have some significance, which I don't think, because it says one of the 11th chemical is kept between 9th and 10th respectively. Between 9th and 10th respectively mean what? From top to bottom or bottom to top? And even if that is done, we will not be able to fix acetone and persulfate, right? They can come anywhere, 5th and 8th. So it could be that guys, those two things cannot be fixed. Sometimes it happens in arrangements. It's not compulsory that we should be able to fix everything. Yeah, so I think I can conclude that acetone and persulfate will be 5th and 8th positions in some order, and this 9th and 10th also will be 6th and 8th positions in some order. Right? All of you can quickly verify your solutions with what we have done here and confirm. Yeah? Some of you are saying that 10th is not at top. Let me tell you, you are incorrect. I know you guys are referring to this point. The point that one of the class 10 chemical is brown in color, which is not on top. It only says that the one which is in brown color is not on top. It does not mean that 10th cannot be on top. Don't misunderstand. The chemical which is brown in color is not on top. One of the class 10th chemical is brown in color, which is not on top. Which here refers to the brown color chemical, which is not on top. But 10th class can be on top. Yes or no? The chemical which is in 10th class can still be on top. You guys are trying to eliminate 10th not coming here. So 10th has to come here and 9th has to go there, which is not possible. And I think respectively also has got no sequence. I mean, respectively indicates that in that, generally indicates in that sequence, but here it has got no significance because one of 11th class chemical is kept between 9th and 10th respectively. Now between 9th and 10th respectively, from bottom to top or top to bottom? I can say 9, 11, 10 is between 9 and 10 respectively, or 9, 11, 10 between 9 and 10 respectively. You're getting it? So my conclusion is that we can have 9 versus 10 here, 10 versus 9 here, and this can be acetone or persulfate. This can be persulfate or acetone. And questions have to be answered accordingly. 5th and 8th chemicals cannot be decided, and 6th and 10th classes cannot be perfectly decided. Many of you, I see many of you posting this point. I think somebody has just posted that 9th and 10th respectively means between 9, 11, 10, right? But this is not a linear arrangement, right? 9, 11, 10. It's a vertical arrangement. So 9, 11, 10 is correct. 9, 11, 10 is also correct. From bottom to top and top to bottom, both are possible. Don't get confused. Don't assume anything when you're solving these questions. Okay? Somebody says blue and black 2 places. Have I missed that point? Somebody says blue and black should have 2 places in between. Is it given somewhere? I did not have a picture of that, right? Blue and black. What is that point? Nagu says blue and black 2 places. There's no point like that, right? There is no use of respectively. You need not assume that every word used in the data has to be making some sense. I think we can look at the questions. Let's look at the questions and answer. Which chemical is having orange colored cover? Which chemical is having orange colored cover? Ammonium. Option 4. The carbonate chemical is related to which standard? Carbonate is related to which standard? 11th standard. Straight. Yes or no? Carbonate is related to 11th standard. Which of the following does not belong to the group? Green, purple, grey, red, brown. Which of the following does not belong to the group? Green, purple, grey, red, brown. Green, purple, grey, red, brown. Green, purple, grey, red. Which of the following does not belong to the group? I think grey will not belong to the group. The logic that I am using is that the green, purple, red and brown are for 9th and 10th standards in some order. 9th, 10th, 9th, 10th, 9th, 10th. But grey is for 12th standard. Yes or no? So I think grey should be the odd one. It does not belong to the group because green, purple, grey, red and brown are from 10th and 9th standards. Or any other logic. Do we have any other strong logic? Green, purple, grey, red, brown. Or we can say one more thing, sorry. I think there are different ways of looking at it. We can say green, purple, grey and red are on even numbered positions. That logic sounds more appropriate. Brown is on even numbered position, grey is on even numbered position, purple is on even numbered position and green is also on even numbered position except red. So I think I'll change my answer to red. I think it should be red. Red sounds more appropriate. Even places, odd places. Yes. Even places classification. It happens. In classification, we can have multiple answers coming in. The one which sounds to be more solid a reason has to be taken. Yeah. Next one. Which one is correct according to brown covered box? Brown covered box, what is it? It is in second position, belongs to 10th class and it's nitrate. So check brown covered box. It is nitrate, second position, 10th class. It is an odd number position? No. It is a 10th chemical? Yes. Is it sulfate chemical? No. Is it third position? No. I think option 4 is the answer, right? 10th chemical. Yes or no? Brown is the 10th class chemical. It is nitrate and second position. It is not third position. It is not sulfate. It is not odd number position. So option 4. Chloride chemical is placed in which position? Chloride is placed in which position? Chloride. Where is chloride? Okay, chloride. Chloride is placed in 4th position. Chloride is placed in 4th position. Uh-oh. Chloride chemical is placed in which position? Chloride is placed in 4th position. I think options do not satisfy this. 6th option. I mean, I know we cannot do this in the exam, but according to the arrangement that we have done, we get chloride in the 4th position. Or maybe we can say 5th position from top. I mean, he has not specified from top or from bottom, but chloride places which position? 4th from bottom or 5th from top. So I can take 5th as the answer. I can take option 2 as the answer. Now the confusion will be what happens if both 4th and 5th are given. It should not be given. Both 4th and 5th should not be given. You're getting it? So 5th from top or 4th from bottom. Since 4th is not given in the positions, we are taking 5th from top as the answer. Now it should ideally not be a case where both 4th and 5th are given to you in the options. If it is given, then you cannot decide. We can say answer cannot be determined or incorrect options. You're getting it? The question does not specify very clearly. The question does not specify very clearly, is it 5th from top? I mean, the position from top or position from bottom. So you can say 4th from bottom or 5th from top. Since 5th is given, consider 5th as the answer. Yeah. So I think we have been able to answer all the 5 questions without having to deal with that confusion of those 2 chemicals, acetone and persulfate, and the 2 classes, 9th and 10th. Okay. So don't worry, there will be cases, I have solved myself a number of arrangements and puzzles where you get certain things which are not perfectly fixed. It can be either this or that, and accordingly the other one can be fixed. So we just have to continue. And then sometimes questions will be asked based on those things where you will have either or kind of options. Okay. Now, before I close, one point here which is being mentioned by Raghava and others, that black is 3 places below the green. No. Black is 3 places below green, meaning there will be 2 things between black and green. There will not be three things between black and green. You're getting it? Black is 3 places below green would mean, see, black is below green, meaning black is 1 place below, black is below green is like 1 place below green by default. Black is 3 places below green would mean there will be 2 things between black and green. So green, 1, 2, 3. It's 3 places below green. Okay. So that's it. I think we are done with this. It's 9 o'clock already, and I think it's high time that we close the session. Thank you so much for being so patient during the session here. I wish I could solve more questions during this time, but then detailed explanation does take some time, and I hope all of you have found it useful. The biggest takeaway that all of you should have from this session, or I definitely have from this session, is when it comes to puzzles, whatever type of puzzles it is, circular arrangements, linear arrangements, floor-based puzzles, or the general puzzles, assignments with arrangements, you should skip it the moment you see it. Solve independent questions first from the reasoning section. When I say independent questions, I mean syllogisms, coding and decoding, blood relations, directions, alphabet, coded inequalities, letter series, number series, those logical series based questions where you are given 3-digit numbers and some questions to be done on that. So solve these kind of questions first, critical reasoning questions, because there is a definite method to get the answer, right? And once you're done with this, then you should try out the other independent ones. Then you should try out the puzzles. Now there can be 4 or 5 puzzles asked in the exam. You should look at the context of each of these, choose the one that you think is going to be easier to crack, will take lesser time, and then just go for it. Right? Remember, you may or may not be able to solve puzzles in the exam. Don't worry about it. Just optimize the way you choose the questions, right? Choose the questions wisely so that you can maximize your score in that limited time. And as such, like I've mentioned, both in SBA PO mains examination and SBA clerks mains examination, time management is not a problem, right? You will have more than a minute, or at least about a minute to attempt each question. It's just that choosing the questions wisely and solving the question in the right sequence is important. If you start with puzzles, you may end up wasting a lot of time in that, and then you may not have enough time to attempt the independent ones. So just take care of that, and I'm sure your scores will be good enough in the reasoning ability section of both SBA PO as well as the SBA clerks mains examination. On that note, let me close it here. I hope all of you have had a good time. Thank you so much for joining us once again. For those who have not signed up for our free coaching yet, please visit talentsprint.com/exam-prep. You can sign up for the free coaching that we have with some limited content, and get ready for your bank, SSC and other government exams. Keep practicing. Practice definitely is the key. The more you practice, the easier it gets. So keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. I'll see you all in the next session. By the way, let me mention that tomorrow at 4 p.m, which is Thursday at 4 p.m, we have a special session on descriptive paper for the upcoming SBA PO mains examination. So please join us at 4 p.m. tomorrow for the descriptive paper discussion, which will be done by our team member Vaishnavi. Tomorrow at 4 p.m, descriptive paper for SBA PO mains exam. See you all. Bye.